Crushed it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Can Roleplay. My name is Will. I'm a D&D sex icon, and we're back today for another episode of Zweihander. Technically, right now it's my birthday in the UK. By the end of the session,
Yay!
it also won't be my birthday.
Happy birthday!
There you go. Yeah, I'll be an
I'm
hour
only
away.
going to celebrate your American birthday.
Yeah.
If you
it's
want,
best for a hard life.
I could 100% play you Happy Birthday on my ukulele right now if you want.
Right. Well, that's definitely something I'd be into. I mean, actually, after Brexit, I only celebrate my English birthday. I refuse to celebrate any other
Well,
birthday.
with all the paperwork, it's tough to celebrate any other.
There's tariffs.
Okay, I can.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. By the end of the week, I resign. But let's go to the group. Let's remind ourselves of who we are and who we're going to be playing tonight in the penultimate episode of Zweihander, Blackhearts. We'll do that in post. So, Kimmy, how you doing today?
I am doing just well, thanks. And actually, I celebrated your Australian birthday, so it was like yesterday. So,
Controversial.
This is all old news. But I'm Kimmy, Miss Kimmy D85 on Twitter, and I play Danny, a human fop who's just looking for Mr. Not right, but like Mr. I have a whole bunch of money, and she found him, and you people are not going to stand in her way. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a character progression I was not anticipating.
I don't know that I was at first either, but I was like, this makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes it just clicks. Fantastic. And Doxy, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. I'm excited. I'm actually a little bit nervous about today's session. I had a little bit of anxiety about it last night, thinking about bringing us all. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Same as Zero Doxy, aka Persephone Fret, aka the most moral and just and pure of the group. I am also nervous for what might happen to my evil friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
My character's an asshole.
Today I am playing an asshole. Just so we're clear. Fantastic.
Actual asshole with legs.
Oh no!
That's what Diablo
Ruben,
means.
take us away from that imagery, please. Oh goodness!
Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to revel in that imagery for just a little bit longer? For
I'm
your
going to keep
birthday?
reveling in it.
We got you that imagery just special for your special day. Hi, everybody. I'm Ruben Bressler. I'm the Internet's Mox Ruby. And boy, howdy, did this really spin off the rails. I am the human Bravo who is directionless and full of ennui at this very moment, Nick Rattenbury. And I still have 4 shots remaining in my flintlock pistol, in my Chekhov's gun. So we'll see how that develops as things go forward as well.
Fantastic. And of course, we have Lydia with us today. Lydia, how's it going?
It's going so good. Happy birthday, Will. I was just kidding about what I said about only celebrating the American birthday. I felt bad immediately after I said it. I'm sorry.
I don't know why I say these mean things.
This is Zweihander, where life is pain and death, and no one deserves anything. So you don't have to apologize to Will for his birthday daggers.
I've already written you like an apology card, and it's happy birthday. Okay, anyways. I'm Lydia. I play Polaris. She's an elf astrologer. Probably the most wholesome here, maybe, in fact.
I'd buy that.
Pretty wholesome. Yeah, I'd say the most wholesome so far.
I flew out of a window to avoid a murder fest.
In that you haven't lost any body parts, like you're wholesome.
Yeah. There's all of you is physically present.
Physically, I'm still whole. Yes.
Yes. Inside, you're dead, like the rest of us. Fantastic. Well, that takes us right over to Speedy Hayden, my friend, the man with the gigantic pizza.
What pizza? It's gone. It's
gone now.
disappeared.
It was
No,
And
that's
for my
it.
next
Now-
trick, I make this pizza disappear.
Incredible. Yes, I am Speedy. You can find me everywhere as Not So Speedruns, and I am returning as Charlie Barber. You know what? I forgot to say, and all of us forgot to say. Will, how are you doing?
I asked.
yeah.
Okay, I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, sorry, Polaris didn't.
Same way song.
Or
Yeah,
really
no,
didn't.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready to dispense justice upon all of you.
wow.
Yeah?
That's not ominous.
Wait, Justice? Are you
Justice.
saying we did something
Remember
wrong?
how we're
Did I say that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy how those words just came out of my mouth. I'm
yeah, you
drunk.
remember how we're traitors to the kingdom and to the city, and we just killed somebody's daughter?
No, man.
I mean,
Y'all did.
any
That doesn't
any
sound
girl you
right.
kill is someone's daughter.
That's a good point.
No, like,
Not the sons.
yeah, I said
Yeah.
any girl,
Girls can be boys. You don't know.
and boys can be girls. We're not getting into gender politics right now.
It's a slippery slope.
Anyone can do whatever they want.
I'd like to start the
We've seen
penultimate
me dress
episode
the
with
goth GF earlier this week. Like,
one 2-hour discussion on gender politics in 2019. If
Yeah, yeah.
Oh boy.
Kick off my birthday or that.
yeah. But yeah, I'm playing as Charlie, our barber surgeon. I always seem to have a few leeches attached to me. I can't tell a lie, and I am really sorry about all the people we've killed.
Yeah, honestly,
Mhm.
lots of people
Are you-
died. Many more
Are you?
will die. Take comfort in that. These are not the only ones to fall along the road of doom. But yeah, let's do a quick recap in just a second here. But first of all, I'm ready, guys. We are sponsored here today by Zweihander, the folks over at Grim and Perilous Studios sponsor this show, the Blackhearts. So if you want to check out Zweihander, I got a link for you here. !Zweihander will take you to grimandperilous.com. We can go check out the D100 dark fantasy system that we have been playing here for the past 15 so weeks. It has similarities to Warhammer, so if you're familiar with it's a retro clone of that game, has a lot of similarities, but a lot of cool, unique twists that make this game a lot of fun to play. It's dangerous, it's hazardous, and you may very well go mad along the way, especially with the help of laudanum. Or blood magic, actually. So both of those have been the case for party as they've accrued corruption throughout. But of course, we are also sponsored by fancygrounds.com, virtual tabletop of choice. You want to go check those guys out, go download the demo version for free. They just finished their Kickstarter earlier today with no less than $500,000 raised on Kickstarter. It is fucking crazy. So if you want to go and check those guys out, there's never been a better time to check out Fancy Grounds. Go down to the demo version for free on Steam or via their website, fancygrounds.com. WellOnGames.co.uk, the go-to destination for tabletop war games, board games, and more, up to 20% off the retail value. If you want to go pick up a D&D book, that's the place to go and get it. And of course, our last but no means least sponsor, our tabletoploot.com. When you get 20 retweets on this tweet here, we'll give away a set of tabletop loot dice to you guys there in the chat. So get retweeting and we'll get giving away some dice. You can, of course, donate to a game as well by giving players net ones, net 20s, wild magic surges, and, of course, magic items that have definitely been helping the party throughout the course of this adventure. Quick recap then as to what happened last week on the show. Boy, it was a big one. If you haven't watched it and you've been following the series, take a moment sometime in later this week to go back and catch episode 14, A Hunter's Moon, in which the party decided to take the masked, the talisman rather, that was just speaking to them, their nemesis Garu, up on his offer to kill 6 of their allies, which included the 6 scouts that they'd come out on this boat to scout out Castle Doomire with. They ended up killing them and arresting and tying up Alicia, who was the leader of that group. And up until this moment, a fellow Bravo and friend of the party had been quite helpful, I should say, in the past couple of episodes to the party. But it turns out that they decided in their deliberations that Danny was the one to actually pull the trigger, as it were, and slit the throat of Alicia, as she was one of the witnesses to this horrific act of murder which they had committed in blood magic here. Really, Persephone was the one that was pushing for it. The rest of the party were, in varying different ways, fighting against each other or trying to stay out of this moral quandary, but they definitely found themselves in a pickle. Finally, though, Renfred, as promised by Garrow, was returned to them by a band of plague hounds. They believe him to be the only hope for the city of Einem, which they are now headed back to defend against an army of the creatures of plague, which are making their way towards them even as they speak. But Renfred spoke with Charlie and asked him what had happened. Charlie admitted to the crimes and mentioned the fact that Alicia was murdered. At that point, Renfred revealed to Charlie and to us in the audience that Alicia was in fact his daughter, and now she's dead. So that didn't go down too well, and that was in fact the cliffhanger upon which we left our last episode on. And so we're going to pick up today's episode right there. To begin the session, Charlie, you're in the bunk on the boat. You're not far from the city of Einem now, maybe 20 minutes away, honestly. It's really not far down the river. Renfred has... he's already not well, that much you're certain of. He was mentally broken and physically harmed by a Darien. But he is now descended into sobs, and he is inconsolable. You maybe sit with him for a couple of minutes, but eventually, perhaps it's the exhaustion or the grief combined, he sort of curls up into himself, and you can't get through to him. You're not sure if he's asleep or just unable to be reached right now.
Yeah, as this is happening, Charlie, seeing him in such shambles, almost collapses next to him, basically sits down on the floor with his back against the bedside table, and just sort of looks down in remorse for a good few minutes, then stands back up, checks on Renfred to make sure that he's at the very least still breathing and you know, healthy at least, even if he is tired, unconscious, and inconsolable, before heading down back to the rest of the party.
Yeah, he's physically going to be fine. So you head back to the top deck, I guess, where the rest of the party have been, manning the boat and bringing it back to Einem. You can see the city in the near horizon at this point.
Where am I?
Oh,
in bed.
Oh yeah,
I'm in bed, I assume.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully I've been towed out of the room full of dead people and back into my quarters.
I think the dead people were towed out of that room, but
sure.
Either way.
I also still don't just want to stay there. Since I have a room,
Yeah,
that's valid.
Yeah, I would help carry you down.
Great. As I'm being moved, Charlie, do you know of the effects of tincture?
Charlie would. I don't off the top of my head.
I know that it is not usual and not particularly recommended, but I think that it would be aid me in this case if I were to. I'm of no use to anyone without my prowess.
You're right. It's risky though. You might develop a dependence. You might start to lose a bit of yourself from it.
Well, we don't have much choice now, do we? Unless you think that just bed rest and the old Charlie bedside manner is gonna heal me up quicker.
Not quicker, no. But healthier.
Well, I need to be on my feet now. So Side effects be damned.
Well, I'm afraid I don't have any tincture on me right now. I'll have to get to town, find you somewhere to rest, and if we have time, I prefer you...
I believe we traded away all of our tincture in order to get extra weaponry.
Yes, I have the tools necessary, the opium needed to perform surgery, but nothing to stave off the effects of this without making you otherwise incapacitated.
Well, you know where to find me.
Yeah. I will walk out of that room.
Okay.
And I'm just sort of gonna sit somewhere in the open, sort of on the boat as we wait. Yes. Actually, I guess someone needs to be piloting the boat.
Sure.
Or
me and
Persephone
Polaris
doing
were.
that?
Yeah, me and Polaris were doing that already.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'll just be sitting somewhere below deck, sort of thinking. I have a couple books with me that I'll be reading through again. I'm reading up on a little bit of medicine, but I'm more so reading through the book on the crows again and trying to learn anything else I can about them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, is there anything else anyone would like to do under 20 minutes or so you have before you'll get back to Einem?
I'm just on deck writing in my book.
Okay. So, when you get back, you draw up to the docks that you're familiar with having landed at a couple of times now, and you see that there is a welcoming party waiting for you just on the docks as well. You see that Lord Philippe Chapman and his son, Sir Patrick Chapman, are standing next to one another with some of their house guard, awaiting news of your trip. How do you get down? Are you bringing Renfred out with you? Also, have you gotten rid of the bodies already in the ship?
I promised them funerals.
Okay, so let's go on the ship.
I would have consulted with Polaris though and been like, well, you know, Elysia's dead, so maybe funerals at sea would suffice.
I don't know these people. I don't know how they'd want to be buried.
Give me a folklore check. I'd let you know.
Are you talking just the two of you, or with others?
Probably in like the like helm cabin area. Okay. Like wherever the steering wheel is.
Wherever the steering wheel is. Technical boat terms only here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I passed the folklore check easily.
Okay, so traditionally, you would bury someone in a grave with their body and their bones. Towards the blood plague time, people throw away that tradition somewhat, and if there's a possibility of infection, they'll just burn them to make sure that they don't, spread any disease.
So, what do you think, Polaris? Do we? I would love to honor them for their sacrifice, but I don't think that we have time for honor right now.
I hate that I agree with you right now.
All right. Help me toss them overboard. Or maybe you and Danny could do that so that I can pilot ship.
Does Danny want to help? Or do you ask her, I guess?
If Polaris asks me, I'll help. I'm assuming this is when we're still like before we like
Yeah,
leave,
like-
after.
Yeah. This
When we
pretty much time.
were getting kind of close, honestly.
The dock
It's
is
something
there.
we
We're
would-
like, oh god.
Oh, shut the bodies. Yeah.
Where are you on the ship?
I'm on the deck.
I would come up to Danny like kind of sheepishly because I think she's like a little scared of her, and also she doesn't really want to throw these bodies overboard, but she knows she has to.
Yeah.
So I would come up and I would walk around and get your attention. Like, Danny, we need to get rid of the bodies.
Can't you just evaporate them or something magical?
I don't have that kind of magic.
Let's dump them.
That's what Persephone said.
All right. Sooner the
And that's
better.
magic items, I think, for everybody around.
Wow.
Oh, moly.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Oh my
Nice.
god.
Well, now you have the ability to evaporate the bodies.
Yeah. Here's a wand of body disintegration.
Can I donate that?
Right. So yeah, that's we'll get the magic items to you shortly. Don't worry about that. So you guys want to just chuck the bodies overboard?
Yeah.
Important question: which way does the river flow?
We would have weighed them down.
It does. Yeah, you could weigh down rocks. Yeah, that's probably something you'd do.
Okay.
God, I never would have thought of that.
Listen, I buried a fair few bodies, Lydia, and I always tie the rocks together. That was a joke.
Well,
As my legal
they
representative.
did that
Thank you.
in a clever way. Actually, while we're dumping the bodies, so Polaris, is there like a story that we all have? Did everyone just die when we were scouting the castle? Is that what we're gonna say? Has anyone talked about this yet?
I don't know. We should get together as the group, though. Make sure we have everything straight. We're going to be talking to a lot of different people, and I don't know what to say.
Well, once we're done here, maybe we can try and get everyone together quickly in Nick's room. Or a
Have you
brief
seen Nick?
meeting since he's been injured.
I'm worried about him.
Should be worried about all of us.
Well, I'm always worried about all of us, but he's the one that's closest to ending up in the river like these.
I think he's stable. He just needs time. And he'll get
Okay.
it. We'll go back to town and he can rest and heal, and then we can all figure out what we're doing next.
Okay. Thank you for your help, Danny.
You're welcome. I don't mind helping if I know what's going on.
Shall we fast forward real quick to the conversation in Nick's room, which a party are gathered at? It's a couple of, like an hour or so before you get back to the docks at this point. And you're discussing what to do, what to tell these people.
Simplest thing
Oh,
would just
look.
be to say that they all died when we were scouting out.
They were the
castle.
forward party. We were the back party.
Yep. Or that we split into two teams and they never returned, maybe. Something like that. Although we did... would Charlie have informed everyone of the conversation with Renfred?
I was just about to say. I think that decision lies with Sir Renfred now.
Sure.
Okay, great. I'm not leaving the boat. You guys get Renfred to Phineas, get him taken care of. Get Nick to Phineas, get him taken care of. I'll be on the boat.
I think that yeah, I mean, first of all, that's a good idea. Second of all, I think that the less we say, the better, regardless of what our plan ends up being. And then the plan, one option is the Charlie plan, which I'm going to just call it the Charlie plan. Not that it's your plan. I'm just calling it the Charlie plan, which is we literally say nothing and let Renfred tell the story. We show up and they ask us questions.
What exactly did you tell him, Charlie? How did you phrase it?
I told him the truth, that we made a sacrifice. He knew already. Garrow had spoken to him and told him of the bargain that we had struck.
Then I say no details. Our story is they were sacrificed in order to free Sir Renfred. We don't go into any further details.
We could say they chose
Not
it.
That they were martyrs for the cause?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Only if
these
they
are
ask us.
possible.
Charlie.
Unwilling martyrs.
Keep in mind that
What?
that Charlie told Renfred all of this information while he was in a fugue state, while he was not himself and still isn't. So any recounting of what you may or may not have told Renfred can be hazy at best. I still think that is probably our best option, is to sort of be deferential to Renfred. Then when Renfred makes a claim that is that would lead to our deaths, we can alter course and say, no, we didn't kill them, we didn't sacrifice them, they were sacrificed. I believe you misunderstood us, etc.
Don't let Charlie do the talking.
Yeah, Charlie, can you go along with that if you're questioned?
I can't lie. I can avoid talking. I can go along with whatever you say, but I can't with a straight face tell these people that we committed no crimes here.
I also
Persephone
think it's
puts-
possible. Go ahead.
Persephone puts a hand on Charlie's shoulder and says, for what it's worth, inconvenient as it is, I find your honesty admirable.
Thank you, but there's little to be found admirable about any of us at this point.
I don't know what you mean. We are all upstanding individuals. I, for one, would like to continue to be an upstanding individual.
So another option is that we put everything, our story, in writing, and then make no comment thereafter, regardless of what Renfred says, so that we don't even have the opportunity to lie or be caught in a lie. Another option is to drop off Renfred and leave town immediately, which is what I
need time
recommended.
to recuperate.
We need time to get to Phineas. That's about all
There
I need.
is a way that I escape this with my life. And it's that you tell the whole truth and then some. You say that I did what I did, but you say that you killed me in turn for my crimes. I hide, and I never return here.
I'll say I killed
Charlie?
you.
And if you're questioned,
I can't absolve myself of guilt like that either. As much as I would like to say that this is all Persephone's fault, it's not. We all took part in this night.
The last
I'm
option.
Sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I want to do the plan where we can protect all of us, and I want to protect Persephone, so...
The last option, which I'm going to call the Nick option, even though I think that this is actually a bad option at this point, but it was the one that I thought up in the first place, is we give Renfred the same hard sell that we gave Alicia. We say, we're guilty of a bunch of crimes. We're guilty of heresy, treason, and murder. But let us save the world first, then come after us. That's the last option.
Renfred is an honorable man, and as much as his daughter was rather stubborn, I think that he might be able to see a reason.
He might be.
Don't expect
he
him
is a
to forgive us,
pragmatist.
but he's a good man.
Well, then
and I hope
that begs the question. So
if he
Charlie,
says no, I don't hope to end his life the same way as Alicia.
he will say no if he knows what happened to Alicia. Are you willing to say, Charlie, that Alicia died as a sacrifice like the rest of them?
I have a solution
already-
to Charlie's moral quandary. Charlie, do you recall the Nods Dumbly potion? You might have to take
Charlie
that.
wasn't there for that.
You want me to...
Sedate yourself. If you can't keep your mouth shut to keep us all alive, then yes.
Just
It's not the
temporarily.
worst plan.
Charlie, that's not
my
a bad
ability
idea.
to keep my mouth shut isn't a purely ability-based decision. It's a moral one.
I understand. And chemicals can help with that.
I don't intend to sacrifice my morals by taking some potion.
Fair enough. Well,
If you
there we go.
wish, and I can avoid speaking. I can simply
I think
not
that
join you wherever you go.
yeah, I think that that's probably the best option, is that if I'm at Phineas's and Charlie's at Phineas's, that is a fine cover story that we are being tended to, that Charlie is specifically tending to me, and that the remainder of the party is who accompanies Renfred.
That's a good idea. So then what are the rest of us saying? I
will
like
hide on the
initial-
boat.
I don't think that that's an option. I think that the first thing that's going to happen when we get off the boat is they're going to come onto the boat. This isn't our boat.
Very good at hiding.
I like the option of that you brought up, Persephone, that they were willing sacrifices.
At this point, I think that neither Charlie and I should be in the room anymore. You three need to decide the problem. If you have specific questions, then you can come to us. But I don't think that either
You're
of
not
us
leaving
wants...
this room, Nick.
Right. Well, we shouldn't be in the room where it happens, is my point. And specifically, Charlie, I don't think...
Sorry.
Exactly. Specifically, Charlie, I think that you'll feel better if they have these chats elsewhere.
Well, Nick, you
I
are
agree.
able to speak. I think that you should be part of the decision making.
I walk out of the room. I go back and sit with Renfred.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but that's fine. Well, now that Charlie's not here. What?
I don't know that they'll buy that they were willing, but I think that should be our story.
There are two plans that involve pulling the wool over Charlie's eyes. One of which is we fake Persephone's death in the eyes of Charlie. One of which is we give him the Nods Dumbly potion clandestinely, and he doesn't know about it. I don't like either of those plans, but they're on the table.
I will take a drug to appear dead.
Do those exist? Are those things that exist? Could a medical professional...
Phineas about it.
Ooh!
And if you can get to Phineas, he can pronounce me dead.
Yes. I like
but
that.
all of that.
With Sherlock Holmes again.
Then we'd have to sneak you out of whatever morgue, crypt, or mortuary there is. But I suppose I've seen stranger things than, you know, someone
I'm quite
wandering
good
out
at
of a...
hiding and quite good at escaping. We just need to know which I'm going to do. Either way, I can never return here.
I don't think... Well, there are plans that involve you not hiding, escaping, or becoming dead for a period of time. Those are the plans I like the best. I think that the Polaris... if you're not comfortable joining, then the Polaris, Danny, Renfred cadre of, you know, of trying to explain the story with Renfred there is fine. We can say that Persephone was also injured, and Charlie has brought Persephone and Nick to Phineas. If they specifically need follow-up, they can call for us. If that's more comfortable, if you think that that's a better idea, Persephone. That also gives you more lead time if you do need to run for it. You won't be in the belly of the beast.
I think the way that it's safest is if you tell them the truth and then some. If you tell them the truth, tell them I did what had to be done and you killed me for it. You killed me for my crimes. You delivered justice. I think that is the way that you all will be safe. I would rather just I was in danger than more of us were in danger. I am the one that did it.
Okay.
So then how are you going to get away?
Well, we all still go to Phineas's. We still, the three of us still go to Phineas's in that case. We just make sure Renfred doesn't see Persephone as you all leave the boat. Right? Polaris, Danny, and Renfred get off the boat first and start wandering off. Then once they're out of sight, Charlie, Persephone, Nick make their way to Phineas's. Renfred's none the wiser about Persephone. It just didn't come up in conversation. That also leads to the confusion in Renfred's head of the overall story. We explain to the Einem Razers exactly what we want them to believe. And Renfred backs our story. He's a reasonable man. He's a pragmatist. He knows what the greater evil here is, even if we are talking about some amount of crime. Ideally, the cover story covers us of any wrongdoing in that case. Persephone, Charlie, bring me to Phineas. I get some of that good healing, and ideally, no one's the wiser when Danny and Polaris return to Phineas's and we sneak out of the city and take care of whatever it is we're going to do next. Persephone,
like that.
you have some amount of disguising.
I'm better at hiding.
I also have bad news concerning your current occupation. We're going to have to tell MASH you're dead.
You don't even have to go see MASH. MASH doesn't have to know anything. I could hide with MASH.
You could hide with MASH. MASH is going to help with the cover story.
I don't want to put that on him.
I like the idea, though, that you said before of all of us writing down statements. if for no other reason.
Are any of us literate?
I think everyone is. Or, well,
Are we?
Danny's a fop. Like,
I don't
She's
know
been
if I'm
writing
literate.
like lyrics this whole time.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
I
that's
mean,
a thing. Oh yeah, you're literate.
know.
Definitely. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I mean, me for sure. That's like a whole, that's my entire backstory.
I have-
is
Oh, I guess
reading.
I have like
Keyboard.
books and map packets. I guess we're all, yeah. All right, never mind.
Yeah,
I don't know. When we were in that library last week, we really couldn't
Right.
read.
You said
Right.
Charlie.
It occurred to me that I'm a hedge knight that grew up in an orphanage. I might not have ever learned to read, but whatever.
You pretty picked it up, at least the basics. You
Okay.
can sign your name, you can write a sentence, you can read, basically.
Right.
It takes you a little while, but yeah.
So
Let's see.
there
So,
we go.
yeah, are you planning to write something down now, or is it something that you're planning to do later on? Because I'm just keeping an eye on the time here.
Might as well now, quickly.
Okay.
I can tear pages out of my book. We all write down that. So are we all just saying it was Persephone and then Persephone died?
I will
And
have
then
killed
also-
her.
no, specifically, you delivered justice to me.
Okay.
I will have done
Specifically.
it.
So the 7 of them were sacrificed, as was required by,
No.
I don't know.
No,
six of
the
them
6 of them were
sacrificed.
sacrificed.
I walked in on it and did not agree.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
took Persephone's life.
No, the 7, because Alicia was the 7th.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
It could be the 6, and then Alicia and Polaris both walked in, and then Alicia died in that conflict, and Polaris, whatever. Those are specifics.
Okay. So, fast forward a little bit, you all want to write statements and sign them saying that's what happened for
Yes.
the
Yeah.
use of the situation. Okay. So,
And that's why we couldn't be at the meeting, is
Right.
because we're elsewhere.
Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit to the point where you guys can conceal the docks, and you see Lord Philippe Chatmire and Sir Patrick Chatmire standing at the docks with their house guard, awaiting your return. As you get out of the boats and walk down the gangplank, it's all of you except from Persephone, if I'm understanding correctly. Okay.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
I think-
It's a rent-
I need to
table walk.
hide.
Yeah,
I
need to hide
before Persephone leaves, I'm gonna use my my like petty magic spell that gives her like a successful
Correct.
Yeah,
like-
successful check.
Check, yeah.
I thought it was just
Okay.
going to be myself, Polaris, and Renfred that came off first.
Okay. You guys are
Right.
coming on first. You're waiting to bring out Charlie and Nick at a later point. But
Yeah,
you
they're
guys
supposed to come out when everyone's gone.
And I
Okay,
find a barrel to hide in or some shit.
Okay, so you guys have such great plans. So Danny
dare you.
and Polaris and
So Renfred, if he's-
Renfred are coming out. You're gonna have to like shoulder Renfred because he's not really in much state to speak right now.
Yeah.
And bring out Lord Philippe, Sir Patrick, and the House Guard. There's maybe like 10 of them or so. I've come down to the docks to get the update. Lord Philippe has a look of consternation on his face and concern. His brow lightens a bit as he sees Renfred returning, though you can see the concern etched in his face when he sees the state in which he's in. As he says, "Welcome back to Einem. Friends, there are so few of you."
There are a few more on the ship. They're wounded. Just Nick,
I see.
our surgeon, who's keeping an eye on him.
What happened out there?
A lot.
He narrows his eyes at you, in particular, Danny. He says, "We understand that whatever happened out there was something untoward, something unexpected, especially with so few of you coming back. Perhaps you could help explain it to us, Danny."
Did you get my raven?
I did. Care to explain?
I'll explain back at the manor.
Very well. Are the others in a state fit to come with us?
We can check in on them after they get to Dr. Phineas.
Phineas is back at the manor, looking after Jean and Marie.
They'll need to go to his house.
All right. Then
Our
let's have them
surgery.
brought out on stretchers if need be. Seek medical attention immediately. The rest of you, Lord Renfred, it's good to see your return. Renfred isn't in a state to respond. It looks like he needs Dr. Phineas's attentions as well. Come, let us go back to the manor. And Nick and Charlie, go fetch them, he says to a couple of his guards, who head on to the ship. One of them calls out for the two of you. Nick, Charlie, Lord Chapmeyer wishes to take you to Dr. Phineas. Now you saw he's knocking on the door of the cabin at this point.
Yep. I'll look
Yeah,
at Charlie
I'll,
and say,
Yeah, I'll open up the door and say, if you could help me, Nick is incapacitated at the moment.
He nods and helps, carry or wheel whatever way they can get the group of, two of you back to the Chapmeyer estate. About an hour's walk across town, get back to the rich, lustrous Chapmeyer estate and back into the halls as well. Dr. Phineas is attending to John and Marie, but after he's called for, he comes to the rooms which both Charlie and Nick have been put in, and immediately sets to work to try and help the two of you. As he goes about his work silently but fastidiously to try and heal the two of you, and Renfred as well, who's also placed in the same room, separate bunks for the three of you. Meanwhile, this group of you are being looked after. Obviously, Persephone is still on the boat, as they haven't yet searched the ship. And Danny and Polaris are still with Patrick and Philippe. Patrick has a sneer on his face the whole time and keeps glaring over to Danny. You remember that the potion only lasts for about 24 hours or so, and it's definitely worn off by this point. It looks like he has something he wants to say to you, but he's not going to say it in front of his father, by the looks of things. And Philippe looks to you again, Danny, and says, "You sent the raven, or the pigeon. It was concerning news. Pray, tell us more about this situation. So few of you have returned."
It was as I said in my letter, except it wasn't all three of them. It was just Persephone. She was working in her, not to bring the plague like I thought that the three of them were, but she was working to end it. And she sought to do so through very unnatural means. That's what happened.
Give me a guile check.
I was gonna say, it's the truth. All of that.
It's kind of the truth.
FYI, guys, that pigeon I sent after the three of you kept going off and I didn't know what was going on. I sent a pigeon saying, have a party waiting for us when the boat arrives to arrest Charlie, Polaris, and Persephone because I think that they're working to bring about the plague.
Oof.
Oh.
I didn't know what you guys kept doing.
I like it.
A guile?
A guile
I feel
check.
like I'm
It's part
probably
of
good
your
at
fellowship.
I have a.
It's basically
I have
just
a
lying.
plus on that. Is it R and then D100? No, die.
Slash die. Yeah, you got it.
Every week I forget. Oh, so it's an 8.
It's damn good. An 8, yeah. He believes you. I see. The letter was vague. We were concerned about the rest of them. So, tell me,
I didn't
Persephone,
know what was going on.
what happened?
She was working to end the plague. But the means were not good. Well, Sir Renfred has returned because of her actions. But we condemn them.
Are you to say she's responsible for the deaths of the crew?
Yes.
He looks towards Polaris, almost disbelievingly. This is true?
I think
Oh,
she's
that's right.
still.
She's frozen.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally not in the scene anymore.
I know. She's got
Polaris is incredibly convincing and stony faced in her response.
I loved it.
It was
Okay.
perfect fit for it.
Perfect poker face. He turns back to you, Danny. I see. Where is she now? What happened?
She, after her actions, which we did not condone, justice was dealt to her for her crimes.
So you're telling me that Polaris butchered the rest of the crew, injured some of you, and Persephone did this and killed Alicia as well.
She's a witch, an unregistered, unlicensed witch. She's very powerful. Most of her actions were done in stealth while we were sleeping. There was a confrontation where Polaris and Alicia came upon her actions and saw what she had just done. Polaris and Persephone have been friends for a long time, and so Persephone only struck out at Alicia. But as she was doing that, Polaris brought an end to her friend to stop the madness.
We have heard of thanks for this then. How could this have come to pass? How could you have not seen this within Persephone?
Well, I didn't know at first that she was a witch, but that did come to light the night of the party here, actually. It was sort of confirmed. I knew that the three of them, Charlie, Persephone, and Polaris, had been meeting in secret. They did it quite frequently, to be honest, but Charlie and Polaris have condemned Persephone's actions. Persephone did what she thought was right to get Sir Renfred back, and she did. But that doesn't absolve her of what she did. So I don't think that there's anything to worry about from Charlie or Polaris. I just didn't know the depths.
Well, you were wrong once before, and this resulted in the deaths of 7? How can you be so sure that the others aren't involved?
Well, Polaris killed her. And they were friends. I know it hurt her to do it. And I don't think she would have if they were of the same mind. Charlie
Polaris, is everything she says the truth? You saw this?
Everything.
You can give me a guile roll here, Polaris.
I don't know what have you been rolling.
Welcome back.
Everything I said was on story, but you missed the bit about the pigeon that I sent that said that the 3 of you were working to bring on the play, because I didn't know what you guys were meeting about.
Right.
We're going to bring down the Empire.
And do you have extra? Oh no, you blessed Persephone, not yourself. That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good one.
I did really good.
That poker face is too strong.
I looked a little drunk poker, but I'll take it.
You looked like angry. You were
Sullen.
like sassy. Yeah.
Like half the people on the ship died. You done good with your screenshot.
Yeah, you got like
That was happening.
1,000 yards there, like send some shit. So, yeah. Nice. He believes you then. But at least you managed to bring back Lord Renford to us. How did that happen?
I'm not entirely sure. Whatever caused Persephone to take the actions that she took, we didn't have time to speak to her afterwards. She just was shouting about how this is what had to be done to bring Sir Redford back. So whatever bargain, perhaps, that she struck, by killing those people, she did save Sir Renford. He just came walking up. He had already been tortured, but he was set free and set on a path to us.
See, well, at the very least, Renford should be able to attest to those facts as soon as he's feeling better. What news do you bring of the scouting mission itself? Were you able to see the size of their forces?
We weren't. And so much of the party was gone when we got Sir Renford back, and he was in desperate need of medical attention, and we thought that getting him back to town safe was more important at that point than continuing on to the castle. Unfortunately. I'm sorry that we failed in that.
I suppose it makes sense. At least you managed to bring him back to us. Well, I hope that he's of sound enough mind to help us. Of another matter, Danielle, I should say that my son here is, somewhat confused and angry. And you hear Patrick just let out a kind of sneer about certain things. He believes that he was under the influence of something else, some kind of drug perhaps, or alcohol maybe. Regarding your engagement, there seems to be a misunderstanding that I'm hoping we can draw a line under. Is there anything you'd like to say about this? Something you'd like to tell me?
No.
Because if there were something you'd like to tell me, now would be the time.
I was worried it was too good to be true. His proposal surprised me.
Yes.
He was drunk all night. Everyone can attest to that.
Even I can. Go on.
So if he's saying that he wants to dishonor me by recanting his public, well, dishonor himself too, really, by recanting his public proposal, then there's nothing I can do to stop him.
I believe that is his intent, but I, for one, say that we should leave this matter until this business of war is over. Can you agree to that, son? And his son, Sir Patrick, says, fine. But after this is through, and he points a finger at you threateningly and turns and walks away. You'll have to forgive my son. He's hot-headed.
You wound me, darling.
Now, to the business at hand. Without news of their numbers, I fear to march on Castle Dumire without being fully prepared. The soldiers have arrived here. The army is on the walls of Einem, manning it now. We are prepared to mount a defense against whatever may be coming for us. Word has it that they are growing closer by the day, though I still can have no head count or numbers that I can trust, or just sayings of scared locals and the like, but all of us here in the city have felt this darkness drawing closer to us. Something is coming for us now. It seems we have dallied too long to go after it. It is coming for us instead. City is prepared for a siege or whatever is coming. I do not think we have too much time before it is here. With Alicia gone, we're going to need a new commander at arms. Normally, I was thinking of Mr. Rattenbury, but I understand he has undergone some injuries.
He's been greatly injured. I'm not sure how soon it will be before he's back to fighting condition.
Well, I will ask Dr. Phineas to have me an evaluation. Perhaps there is hope.
Sir Renfred might be able to speak to some of the numbers that he saw. I don't understand the magic that brought him there. I don't know if it just... if he was able to see anything in the castle or even what his mind is like at this time, but maybe we can get some better estimates from him.
Very well. Then, it's with a heavy heart that I say, make your best defenses and whatever gods you have to pray to, not the Emperor, then now would be the time to pray to them. I'll keep you updated as the scouts report. The closer they get to the city, the more we'll know. We have at least a day. I know that much. But whatever force is out there, whatever thing is driving them or leading them forwards, I sense that it knew. I feel like it may have been using us and knows our weaknesses, that we were going to strike against it. Somehow, something tells me that. Instead, it seeks to attack us in our own home. We must defend it. Preparations are being made. But for now, perhaps it would be best to rest. I'll have a few things sent to you, a few effects and items which could be of use for the coming war. But until then, the two of you look after one another. And Polaris, we owe you a debt of gratitude for having slaughtered that abominable witch. If there is a way for me to repay the favor one day, then I will make sure that I uphold my end of the bargain. As I'm sure will Sir Renfred.
My wish is that you not speak of her like that. She did what she thought she had to do, and it was wrong. And she paid for that, but she wasn't all bad.
I struggle to believe such things. But I have work I must get to. Excuse me. I must prepare the defense of the walls immediately. And he heads the same way as the sun did, leaving you largely alone. There are some house guards left in the Manor of Chapmire, alone.
I'm sorry I sent that pigeon. I didn't know what the three of you were doing. You were always stealing away with the three of you. And doing it when we were on the boat on our way to Castle Dumire seemed highly suspicious. And now I know what it was about, and I'm still angry that I wasn't involved, but I didn't know. I just didn't know.
It's just the way that she's always been private.
Shit, I have to figure out a way to convince Patrick to still marry me. God, what a nightmare.
I don't know how to help you there.
Here are.
I can strike him with lightning if you want.
We should go and check on that scarf that I left behind. It's a really nice scarf. I would be sad to be without it for too long.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk to them anymore.
All right, let's head out, and then we can come back
Okay.
to check on Nick and Charlie.
Okay, so checking in on Persephone. Persephone, are you doing anything at this point?
Hiding in a barrel.
Still?
Still in a barrel. Okay. Let me know if at any point you're out of the barrel. So Charlie, Nick, and Renfred are in a room getting fixed up. It's going to take a little while. So Danny and Polaris, where would you guys like to head?
Ship.
Okay.
Persephone
You
is
head
my
back
scarf.
to the ship, and you see that there are Chapmire's guards all over it. It seems like they are repurposing all of the boats into some kind of fleet for the upcoming battle. And so they're sort of all over the docks, really, at this point. A small sort of army of them on the docks alone. And there's definitely a heavy sort of army presence throughout the city. You see soldiers everywhere you walk now. And there's a fear in the eyes of the population of Einem as they understand that the blood plague may be coming towards them.
Oh, sorry. Excuse us, gentlemen. I'm Danielle, Sir Patrick Chapmire's betrothed, and we just came off of this ship.
Oh.
I left behind a scarf. It's so silly. Can we just get back on for just a moment?
Roll me a charm. He's lower class, so you don't have the bonus, but...
Oh yeah, that thing. Is that only for a class above me?
I think it's against highborns or people of status higher than you.
Well, I thought it was just of a different status, but I'm pretty low. Sorry, my character sheet wasn't open.
Your fellowship's probably quite high anyway, so you pretty got a good shot at it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay. All right, so my charm is another, so that makes it 50, and my fellowship is 51. So, ha ha ha.
Woof. Nice.
What a charmer.
Yeah. He's just about to say no, and then he sort of, he wavers. And he's like, just admit it, and that'll be fine.
Oh yeah, it's Silver Tongue. It's just a different social class. Okay. Players, want to help me look? And then we will board the
Davey,
ship.
head downstairs.
So are there any
All right.
guards on the ship that we can see?
Not below decks at this point. They seem to be mainly involved with like the rigging and stuff. Yeah.
Where is my scarf? I would hate to leave without my scarf. I, Danielle, and my companion. Claire, say something. Claire, say something.
I loved that scarf on you.
Yeah. Do you see it, Polaris?
No, nowhere.
Oh, you're muted.
I will push the lid off my barrel and peek out, I guess.
Danny, did you leave your scarf over here?
I think so. I think we'll run up to the barrel.
Hi.
Well, they bought the story, basically. There are guards everywhere. I don't know how we're going to get you out of this. Is there... I don't know. Do you guys know anything about
We'll
ships?
just offer to take this ship back when we go to the castle to fight.
I don't think they'll let us.
No, they're trying to repurpose all of the ships around to build a fleet.
Okay, I have a stupid plan. It's really
Okay.
stupid.
Like stupider than murdering 6 people, or are we not talking about that?
So Phineas is at the manor, so you can't go to Phineas's. You can't meet back up with Nick and Charlie. You have to go to Mash's.
I crawl out of the barrel, get down on the floor, and hide in Danny's skirts. Let's go.
Okay.
Hiding in Danny's skirts. Okay, so she's going to come back looking a little different to what she looked just a few moments ago. So I'm going to need...
Well, wait. You give me a bit of cloth. You don't have a scarf, an actual scarf, do you?
I take off one of my cloaks and hand it to her. Like, it's
Okay.
just to come out of the skirt.
Okay, good. Yeah. The less stuff on you, the better. That's fine. Anything else that you can... Are you wearing anything bulky that we can give to players so we can pretend like we forgot a bunch of shit on the boat?
I take off like 4 more cloaks. And like, just here.
Okay.
What is even happening right now?
Okay.
It's a dumb plan, but it's a plan. I move in tandem with Danny.
I like it. I like it so much that I'm going to make you roll for it. So I will need... You,
Stealth?
Polaris. I'm going to need Danny to roll me a coordination check, which is
Okay.
agility-based. And I'll need you to make a stealth check, which is also agility-based, Persephone.
Right. Oh man, Persephone.
I'm on fire today.
Dang.
I want to use a spell that I haven't gotten to use the entire game.
Okay.
Awesome.
I want to, yeah. Haven't needed it. So it's just a petty magic spell, hasten speed. So,
Ooh.
a person, basically it just makes us move really fast.
Nice.
Oh wait,
Okay,
no, that's
okay.
not the one. Never mind. Go on.
No?
Okay. Well, the rolls
That
are
wasn't
pretty
what
good.
I wanted to do.
Okay. Do you know what you do want to do?
I do, but I can't find it in all of my spells here.
Okay. Well, either way, with the 6 and the 13, it's pretty slick rolls, and the two of you somehow, perhaps it's because they don't understand the drapery of your dress, or that they're just not particularly paying attention once they sort of give you a look, oh yeah, get off the boat, and the group of two of you are heading off. You guys managed to get off of the docks without anyone looking at you particularly untoward.
Oh my god. I think we're gonna like make a beeline towards like an alley or
Yeah.
Phineas.
You get to an alleyway. Yeah.
no, he's at the
It's
manor.
a long way. That's an hour
Yeah, we
in
can't.
skirt.
Take me to MASH.
Okay, you're gonna stay in my skirt for the entire walk.
Yup.
Well, I mean, while you're down there, are you gonna do anything for me?
I will pinch your butt.
I like it. I like it rough. All right, let's go.
Okay, give me another set of rolls. Same set of rolls as last time. Take you over. And if you want to do the spell, Polaris, you can do that now. I think Ruben's got the text for it in Twitter.
Nice, but not good.
69 for Persephone.
Wait. Oh no! I had an automatic success, and I didn't use it last time.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking that you used that on the stealth check with when they came and looked at the boat and you're in the bow.
Okay.
Sort of
All right.
use that one
Okay.
off, to hide from the dudes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fine.
So
Okay.
you guys are in what I'd like to call a situation right now. Some would call it a pickle. But right now there aren't any pickles involved. The coordination of moving with someone underneath your dress in tandem without looking like some kind of frog behemoth is at best difficult. Right now it's impossible because making any kind of dress is like getting caught and part of Persephone's showing and you're like having to stop and it's really weird that you're walking this way. You can like stop and then walk and a couple of people are giving you weird looks and stopping in the streets and trying to figure out what's going on and people are starting to look at you and it's not a good look.
So I found my spell. I had it written down with the wrong name, but it's trackless step is what I was trying to do.
Okay.
So me and a number of allies are able to basically pass without trace. So we don't leave like traces behind.
Oh, cool.
Okay. That's good. You don't leave tracks.
Your progress
go
cannot
about
be tracked for the duration of the spell. It doesn't. That's it.
Cool. Nice.
It's what I call more of a waddle is what's happening with Danny and Persephone. And, it comes to a point where you guys realize that it's unsustainable with the damage now done to the dress and the walk which is happening.
And her butt pinch like got a nerve, and so like I've just been in pit up.
So where are they now?
They're in a street somewhere. They're getting close to Match's place, but there's a long way to go between here, in a dress.
Right. But of note, there are no guards around from the boat or from the castle.
There are soldiers
there's no one
around
that can positively ID.
Who can, you don't know if you can positively ID Persephone. Word is pretty slow in these times, so it's not like they've got
They still think I'm Hilda the barmaid.
Yeah.
I'm bangers, bitch. All right. So
Angus, bitch. You say as you get out of the dress. I have to hang this bitch. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yes.
This one dude was just like bringing his car along. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Amazing.
It's the latest travel craze under my skirts. Here, take your cloaks, put on your cloaks, and just.
Exactly. I would do the thing, right? I'd be like, okay, all right, like make my way through the street.
This could have been done easier. You realize after 2 hours under the dress.
That's why we went into the alley so we could do this. Yeah, just okay. You've got that. Good. Come on. Let's go. Let's get you to Bangers. And oh no, Mash, your Bangers. Whatever. Ugh, come on.
It's been a day.
Alrighty.
I can't believe that works.
So you head over to the horse and mare where Mash works. It's busy today because there are soldiers in. Whenever soldiers come to towns, they sure do like to drink in taverns, and this is no exception. So the horse and mare is the most packed you've ever seen it. And just full of soldiers in here. You see, Mash is really struggling with the orders and the system, as he was last time. Things don't appear to have changed altogether too much in that regard.
As soon as we walk through, I'm gonna kind of put Persephone's head down a little, and then put my arm around her and Polaris. Mash, hey, we're just heading back to the kitchen, buddy. Just me and Polaris, and then my other friend. You know, because we're good buddies. Because I wrote you the limerick. We're going in the kitchen.
Oh, hello. All
Hi.
right.
You know me and Polaris, but this is another friend that you've never met before.
Okay, I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah, we got to go in the back. We're gonna be in the kitchen.
All right.
You come meet us when you can.
Well, I'm pretty busy here, but I'm looking forward to meeting a new friend whenever I get the chance.
Yep. Let's go.
So good.
I was just so worried he'd see her. And then...
Yeah.
Why the kitchen? Like we get there. Why the kitchen? Why the kitchen and not our rooms?
Because we don't have rooms here anymore. I don't know.
Yes, we do.
No, the soldiers probably have all the rooms.
I still have a room. The way we left it, I left all my stuff behind.
And we can go upstairs. But I just didn't know and I thought he would come back here right away.
Is there a back staircase? Or am I going to have to go through the bar?
Not to the rooms. Yeah, you'd have to go through the bar to get to.
Here's my plan. I'm going to go down to that cellar. I'm going to make that protective circle. You guys figure out your shit.
We'll come back
I'm
for you
going.
as soon as we figure out what the shit we're doing.
Whatever you got to do, just make sure to slip a note or something to Mash and let him know what's going on.
Okay, I don't have all my stuff with me. Do you have enough money? Do you need money? I don't know how long it's going to take us to get to you. I don't know what we're doing. Also, full disclosure, I sent a pigeon saying that you and Charlie and Polaris were maybe working on the bad side and bringing about the plague, but that's gone now.
Yeah, water under the bridge now.
Now you
I
need to
didn't
know
know
before I murder you.
I
let you
didn't
do
know
it
what
this
you
one.
guys
I'll
were
go
doing.
I need you to
didn't
really
have
be very far away from here right now.
The three of you kept meeting in secret, and I didn't know what for.
I just walk to the cellar and like slam the door behind me.
She'll be okay. Right? She'll be okay here.
I need to bring her something. If she's going to make a magic circle, she needs a witchstone essence, which I haven't given her yet.
Go give it to her. I'll stay up here. I'm gonna or something.
I'll knock on the door. Persephone, I need you to open.
I would open it as soon as I heard that it was your voice.
Are you making Are you making the magic circle for MASH?
Yes.
You need the Witchstone essence. I haven't given it to you yet.
Do you have it with you?
I do. That's why I'm here.
I will take that, please. What are we gonna do about her?
About Danny?
Yeah.
We're not in any worse trouble than we are now.
I killed 6 strangers. Innocent strangers. I killed innocent strangers. Sure. She killed a friend and betrayed us. I told you from the beginning she's a liability.
Well, I can't do anything about it now.
I just need to
And
make this circle.
As far as everyone knows, I murdered you. Which I would
that
never
Meanwhile-
had to be if you asked me.
What? I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
I said I would never do that, even if you asked me.
I know. I know that. I know that you could never do that. This is a lot right now. I'm dead, and one of our companions betrayed us, and everybody in the group besides you hates me for the least evil of the things that have transpired since we got on that boat. So I don't know. I don't know what to do, Polaris. I'm going to protect my friend. I'm going to wait here and be dead. You go take care of the things. You know where to find me.
I don't know what I'm doing either. I don't.
Then you can
I don't.
stay with me. Let them do the thing. I'm not They're liabilities. Should have been me, you, and Charlie. And I guess Nick is pretty good with the sword, but geez. That crazy guy that exploded things, he hightailed it.
Yeah, I did.
Just from should have been me and you.
Well, it still is. I didn't really murder you.
Just be safe.
Let's build this circle
Mash
for now.
Mash opens the door at this point, and he comes in with
We're
a
in
bunch
the
of.
cellar, by the way.
Okay, yeah, he comes into the kitchen above. You can hear him, clattering around with plates and pots and stuff like that. Singing a little song to himself.
It's gonna take me a day to make this circle. It will take me a full
I know.
day.
Well, I'll start it with you. I know the spell too.
Okay. Well, if I have to be the one that goes to tell Danny that that's what's happening, then Danny's not leaving this establishment. So
Well, then you won't tell
I
Danny.
recommend you go tell Danny what's going on while I get started. And I lay out the materials and await Polaris' return.
Do you want me to tell Mash you're down here?
Yes.
Do you want me to tell him to talk to you or no?
Tell him that it's probably safer if he doesn't. But if he wants to, I'll either be here or I will abscond to my room once he closes for the night.
Okay. We're coming back for you. I'm coming back for you.
I know you will. Don't if it's not safe, though.
I'm going to.
Okay. I'll wait for you to get back before I get started on the circle.
Mm-hmm. I would put the essence in her hands, and I would give you a hug.
It froze. And you would what?
Give you a hug!
I would hug back. It would be light because I'm annoyed and mad. Not at you, but at the world, and she's bad at compartmentalizing that. So,
Mm-hmm.
And then she would lay out the materials.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, start going.
I would go
Polaris, you head
upstairs
upstairs?
Yeah, I would try to find Mash before I worried about anything else, because I need to do that for
Yeah, he's upstairs. Oh, hello.
Hi, Mash.
Hey.
You know Hilda, right? Bangers.
Bangers, I know her, yes.
Okay, I need to tell you something, and it has to be a secret. It has to be an utmost secret, the biggest secret you've ever kept in your whole life.
You know when, like, you have a treat in your hand and you tell the dog that there's a treat in the hand and it's like a little bit suspicious but
There's
kind of excited?
literally a dog right here, so like watch what you're saying.
He's like distrustful but excited is what you're getting from him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been tricked before with treats, but yeah. Yeah.
Mash, Hilda, she's in the cellar. You can't tell anyone that. It's a long story, and I'm not going to fill you in yet.
Did I leave her down there? Did I forget about her?
Don't forget about her. In fact, I would love for you to bring her some food, but after everyone's gone. So you don't talk to her until every single person has left your tavern from the bar, other than the people that are staying here.
Okay. Well, what's she doing down there? She'd find a wine or something. I could help her. Well,
If you want
I don't
to,
know where they all are exactly, but they're down there somewhere.
Mash, if you want to know exactly what she's doing, is she's gonna spend a day and make a circle that protects you.
What?
Yeah.
Circle. That's
I
one
can't
of them
really
shapes.
explain it, and I don't have time to explain it. I just want you to know that she's in your cellar. Don't go down there until everyone's gone, and when you go down there, bring her some food.
Okay, but I'm not sure how a circle's going to help.
She's just, it's just decorative. Don't worry about it. Shouldn't have said it.
Oh. All them decorations. Yeah, alright. I'll come down there later with some food.
I've seen her drawing it in her notebooks. It's very pretty. You're gonna love it. Just remember to feed her.
Yeah, I'm not going to forget like that one time with the dog.
Mm-hmm. Mash,
Yep.
you're a really good guy.
Oh. Thanks. I like you too.
Thanks, Mash.
Anything
Okay.
else?
No,
What should I do now? Because
nothing.
it's going to be a while for them to go. Nothing.
Yeah.
That's easy. Okay, I'll
She's
stand here
not
for a
going
while.
to starve. She's just going to work on your decorations.
Alright, I'll wait here for
Okay.
about 6 hours then.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Someone's going to have to run the bar though. Usually that's bangers when I'm gone. But if I'm busy standing here, ain't no one going to do it.
I think that he misunderstood do nothing.
Go watch the bar like you normally do.
I don't watch it. He never does anything.
Mash,
Yep. Hello.
hi.
How you doing?
I'm great. I
Good
would
to
like
see ya.
you to Hello. I'd like for you to continue
Hey.
with your day. Like I haven't even seen you, okay? I want you to serve all of the guests in your tavern today. Do everything that you were
Okay.
doing before you even saw me. And then, when the last person leaves for the night,
Yep.
knock on the cellar door
Okay.
and bring something to eat to Hilda. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Go about your
Okay.
job and what you normally do. And when the last person leaves is when you knock on the cellar door. Do you understand?
Yeah, why didn't you just say so?
I don't know. I don't know why I didn't just say that.
You made it real complex.
I know.
Alright.
I have papers. I know. I can't help it.
Oh, better get that looked at. That sounds
Yeah.
serious.
I'm going to go straight over to Dr. Phineas right now.
Good idea. He's dealt with some of them for me before.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, bye.
Bye, Mash.
He heads off.
I love him so much.
Dear Lord.
What are you? What's Danny doing at this point?
She's taking the best bottle of wine, which is probably really shitty.
Yeah.
She's just taking it and just leaving like a gold, something stupid. And she's, she got a glass and she's mixing it with laudanum.
Oh boy!
Like 20/80, 20 laudanum, 80 wine.
Yeah, right in that sweet spot. Okay, that's what you guys are up to. We'll get to that again in a minute. So back over to Nick and Charlie. The two of you have been seen to by Dr. Phineas. He's first looked at Sir Renfred. No offense, but he's the most high-value target for him. And while he recognizes that his wounds are quite superficial, gives him a tincture with which to help him build up his resolve again. He looks to the two of you and says, "Well, you're in quite the predicament, the two of you, aren't you? I keep getting yourselves into these situations."
Unfortunately, it seems that death finds its way to us more often than we would care.
Well, my job is to help you avoid death, so he like fixes you up as best as he can, and he's going to need to. He says, "I'm going to have to perform surgery on Nick. It's not going to be easy, but it's probably the only way to save the legs. If you're ever going to want to walk again, Mr. Rattenbury."
You're in charge.
It's going to be painful, so find out on something.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds great. I might. Are we expecting Polaris to come back? Because she can make people better at stuff, and she might be able to do her woogie boogie to help you better with your surgery.
We're both going to come at some point, you just don't know
right.
when.
So, is it possible to wait for the rest of our cadre to show up before we do this dangerous procedure?
It's up to you, sir. The longer we wait, the more chance for something going wrong.
That's a fair point.
This is yours.
Did we talk about how long it was going to be? I don't think we did.
I think sometime today is the plan. Maybe tonight.
Is it going to be a problem if we wait till tonight, Doc?
It's fine. I'll wait till the evening for them to return and fix you up.
Yeah.
Charlie, are you wounded? You seem to a few cuts and scrapes. Nothing too serious, I hope?
No, nothing threatening anyways. I managed to be unscathed somehow.
Good. I understand that the other you were traveling with. Well, I understand that some things happened on that boat trip, which perhaps you'd rather not speak about, at least for now.
A lot of death and a lot of sacrifice.
I am staring intently at Charlie. Just like...
That's all he says.
Okay, good. Just looking at him. Just like bracing for impact.
Well, I'll be the first to let you know then that Lord Champmeyer and a few folk locally understand that the force of whatever is out there at Castle Dumire is headed towards us. The Champmeyer army has arrived and they're manning the walls, preparing for a siege for as soon as the morrow. We don't have a lot of time left here before there's going to be a lot more death. So,
a siege of the city.
Now, that is his belief.
So, they believe that so other scouts have seen the army, the attacking army on the move.
Yet to get a head count, but have no doubts they are coming for us. The locals
That means-
are all headed into the city.
So that means that the castle will be less or undefended. Whatever is the center of this power is in that castle. If they're headed here and there's an army
true.
here, we need to get around. We need to go back, Charlie.
You'd be going through territory which an army might be marching. Would be dangerous.
We would need to go around it or back up the river, but the river's probably being watched. We would need some way clandestine back to the castle, won't we? That's the idea. What are the 5 of us going to do in a fight of armies? We need to get back to the castle.
Could be an opportunity for you to sneak through while the rest of the army is busy here in the city.
That's perfect.
What say you? What say you, Charlie?
It seems possible. Though, truth be told, I don't know what we expect to find at the castle, and what there is to be gained from it.
I can
Our
tell
task
you what
was-
there is. Sorry.
Our task was to prevent these hounds from taking over the city, from spreading any further. If they're not at the castle, then what is there?
I think that it's likely that the army is coming. Perhaps some generals, perhaps some knights of the dead or flayed men or whatever. But when you are in charge of an army, you don't necessarily come with that army.
That's true.
I think that, yeah.
Do you suspect Garrow or the Heartless Man remains there?
Some
Yes,
source
that's
of the power is not based in living flesh. Probably. I mean, we don't really understand what's going on here. But it is likely that that castle has some sort of relevance. That's where they took Renfred. That's where they've based operation. There is a beating heart in there that we can stab. And that it would be easier for us to stab.
The creatures seem to require a source of magic in order to operate, correct? They are built there or made there, driven there by whatever thing that the Darien is. It would make sense that he may stay behind to control them from a central hub. I mean, what's 5 more defenders of the city when we already have an army of 1,000? If we're wrong,
Also,
then you may at least escape the city. If you're right, you may save it.
and also it gets us out.
There is that. If the city is doomed, at least you would survive to bring word to the other cities that may face them as well.
You're right. And there's a chance that the Heartless Man is there, that we can put out the heart or lack thereof, then perhaps the army would fade. The fear for city and what's to come, though. Even if we can fend off against these beasts of sinew, the plague that comes with it, that could be enough to wipe out everyone here.
Okay, well, let's wait for Danny and Polaris to get back.
All right. So back to the other team. Polaris, what are you up to? Are we waiting for MASH to finish now? Like, until the next narrative thing happens? Or are you up to something else? Well, and Danny as well, seeing as you're there.
Muted.
I think I gave Mash those instructions, and then I think I hoped that he could remember and follow them. I definitely didn't want to write them down, but also I don't want to stick around.
Okay. Where'd you want to go?
Yeah. I'm
if
just
she was
in the bar
if
waiting for
Persephone was
Polaris.
discovered in the same tavern where like I am, and I was supposedly the one that murdered her.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would head back to Dr. Phineas because I knew that's where Charlie and Nick would be. And that's
Okay,
the next
so you're
thing.
headed back. Danny, you going with Polaris?
Well, yeah, if I see her going towards the door.
Yeah, I would let Danny know what I was doing.
So she's pretty pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think it through. I was just so frustrated and just so, to be honest, so tired of the three of you constantly plotting. I wrote a limerick about it. I mean, that doesn't say much. I write limericks about everything. But it felt like powerful at the time. It's here somewhere. I didn't know what was happening. I wasn't sure that I believed that you guys were working towards the plague, but I didn't know what was happening. Oh. Secret lies and private counsels pervade. Their behavior caused this. They weren't betrayed. A warning was sent. Her patience was spent. The choice, wrong or right, had been made. I had been struggling with this the entire time we've been together. The entire time the group of us have been together, the three of you were always insisting on going off together or just having these private counsels together, or I don't know. And when we were on our way to Castle Dumire, and that was especially after we had just all been made Blackhearts, I felt like that was a thing to unite us, and I was proud of us. I felt like we were a team. That was going to be the thing that especially brought us together. And then immediately after, to have you guys do that again, that was just, it was a rash decision. I definitely did it in anger.
Did you ask us what we were talking about, or if you could come? It wasn't a closed invitation, I don't think.
It felt pretty closed. But no, you're right, I didn't.
Well, things can feel a lot of ways unless you ask about them.
That's true.
I know Persephone is as private as anyone I've ever met. I mean, you didn't know her real name for how long?
For a long time. I mean, that was slipped sooner than a lot of other things.
And Charlie didn't even know her real name for almost just as long. I was the only one that did because I've known her our whole lives, but she's just a private person, and I respect that. But you also didn't ask to come in.
Did Nick ever ask to come in?
Not that I know of, but Nick has his own struggles too.
Well, I just mean on the ship. He was brought in to some extent. And I still wasn't. You're right, I didn't ask. Persephone just told me that things were going on and I shouldn't be around. And for my own safety, I shouldn't be told anything.
I think she was just
Hard.
trying to protect you, and also I mean, she knew what she was about to do. Would you want to blurt that out to people that you know? People that are on your team?
Yes, if I trusted my team.
I guess I'm in her court here. If I was going to murder 6 people, I wouldn't tell the people I love. I wouldn't want them to know that.
Well, so I'm the only one she loves, because I'm the only one she didn't tell.
No,
That's not it.
she told me.
And she told the rest of them. That's why all of you were there.
No, they found her just the way that you did. And I wasn't there because I knew what was happening.
No, I saw Nick standing guard. I didn't know why or what was happening.
She told me, and that's all I know.
You're right. I never asked to be brought in. I didn't know what was happening. And I just knew that after the one thing that should have united all of us, that after Jean telling us that, we need to carry on the Blackhearts name, and we were on our way to something potentially very evil, that I and Nick were being shut out again. And it scared me. I was frustrated, but it scared me because I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know if there was a side deal with the Princess of Red Carnage. And Charlie is so weird. It wasn't above belief that he would agree to some kind of side deal. I never know what's going on with him.
No one agreed to it. The only thing I agreed to was to turn the other way, and I did. The only thing I did to help with was to clean up afterwards, and I don't think the other 2 of them knew either. She only told me.
I would have helped Polaris.
Well, I don't want to know that.
Well, my problem isn't that people knew or didn't know. My problem is we were supposed to be a team. And if I did know, I would have helped. I would have trusted her instinct.
But I wasn't even on that team, and I knew. So I think it would have divided us anyways. It was a plan that no one would agree to fully, but Persephone knew that she had to do, so she agreed to it for all of us. And I agreed to not watch. And you all showed up, and you did what you thought was right to help her. You did what you thought that you were protecting her, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm sure she is too, but it wasn't a plan.
We should get back. We need to check on Nick.
Yeah, I'm worried about him.
He's in really good hands. He was greatly injured, but I just hope he can recover in time for all of this to happen.
We don't have a lot of time. He's going to have to recover.
All right, let's head back.
Okay. So while Charlie and Nick have been having this conversation with Dr. Phineas, a few moments later, you've just had this sort of conversation about heading to Castle Dumire while the army is going towards you. That's when we'll have Polaris and Danny return. Phineas opens the door as the two of you come in. Welcome in. We were waiting for you, Polaris, before I began surgery on Mr. Rattenbury here.
Waiting for me? I don't know surgery.
Mr. Rattenbury is under the impression that you might be able to assist in means aside from those we mere mortals possess. Magic.
I don't know any magic about surgery, but I guess I can
You can assist me, perhaps.
Pass along some insight that I have to anything as I concentrate. So I would touch him and try to roll a what is it called?
Okay.
Fury.
Yeah. Do you want to... Yeah, you got it. 16. Nice and easy. So he sets to work on Nick, trying to help him as best as he can. And after several hours of pretty excruciating surgery, Nick's injuries are removed. And after that, Phineas says, "Here, I think I've done all that I can here. Should heal up well. If you drink this draft, by the morning you should be up on your feet again. I'm not sure if you'll be in any state to fight, but at least you'll be walking." Oh, you're muted, Nick.
What is wrong
I think
with all
we'll
of us
find
tonight?
out. That's the first time I've muted my mic, so I think that we'll find out if I'm safe to fight or in a shape to fight sooner rather than later. But this is a good start. Got to walk before you can run.
Well, we're lucky. If we had waited much longer, if you'd have been out there on that boat, I fear you would have been past, my healing arts.
So, what's... how are you doing? What's new? How are things?
Who are you asking? This?
How was your day? What did you do?
Well, we'll talk when the four of us should.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dr. Phineas, can we... this is all the patients are in here. Nick, can you walk? Can we wheel you to a different room?
I can try to sit up in bed.
It's pretty hard going. You fall back down. You're going to need to just sleep, basically, to regain some strength for a while. He says if you drink the draft and sleep enough tonight, then you should be able to walk tomorrow. Phineas says, I tell you what, I'll have Renfred and move to another room. You can take this one. If you need me, then I'll be across the hallway. Nick, I'm glad to see you feeling better.
Thank you, Doctor.
So now it's Danny, Charlie, me, and Nick in this room.
Correct. Renfred is brought out by one of Phineas's helpers. Yeah.
I would look at Danny, and I would look at Charlie, and I would look at Nick, and I would say, no plans are to be made unless all of us are present from now on. I don't want anyone feeling isolated, and I want all of us to know what the other will do with their next step from here on out, because we're in a mess.
The
I'm
reason
glad to
why
hear
she's
that.
saying that is, Charlie, the reason why I stole your pigeon is because I sent a message to Philippe, telling him that yourself, Polaris, and Persephone, I didn't trust you, and that you were holding private councils, and I thought you might be responsible for trying to help spread the plague. That's why that welcome party was waiting for us. It was actually to arrest the three of you.
I was wondering about that. Party and the pigeon. But,
I'm sorry. I didn't know. Polaris has explained that it was all had to do with Persephone just being very secretive, but it had been going on for such a long time. I didn't know.
Right. It wrong of us to so closed off about it. I feared when dealing with such dangerous and arcane things that getting you more involved would only lead to more pain and more risk. But you're right, and that the three of us working alone was, well, more deadly than anything that could had we worked together.
The whole situation, the whole plague we're in, it's isolating. There's no right decisions to make. You don't know what you've done is wrong until you've done it. Like with your pigeon and with our conversations. So let's not make that mistake again. Nick, how are you feeling?
Better?
I'd put my hand on his forehead, not that that's going to tell me anything, but it feels right.
Better about the situation.
How about your legs? Can you move your legs?
I try to wiggle my toes.
Yep.
There's feeling there.
That's great, Nick.
Doc Phineas did a good job. I'm in no shape to be moving around right now, but
Soon.
assuming I drink this and get a night's rest again, I should be up by morning, at least on my feet.
Well, don't push yourself.
This plan of being open with everyone and making no plans without all of us present, we are not all present at present.
Persephone is dead for all intents and purposes right now. We're going to go back with her, but what we do now, she's dead. We need to factor in her rescue into our plans, but she's not going to be there to help us until we get her.
Well, there may be something that we can do about that. And then I will exposit the conversation that Charlie and I had with Doc Phineas about the encroaching army and the equal force against the immovable object that will probably be taking place somewhere out in the woods between the city and the castle, and how a strike force of 5 talented individuals could theoretically, skirt their way around. And of course, I was careful to not mention that Persephone was still alive. But that we could, the Blackhearts could make our way to the castle, where presumably a pressure point is that could put an end to all this.
Well, wait, do we need Renfred with us? I thought that Renfred...
I don't know. I don't know what the nature of Renfred's importance is. No one ever told me what that was. So I don't know if him being alive is necessary or him being there is necessary. I don't know.
Charlie Polaris, do you know why it was so important, other than we like him?
No. The fact that he was taken means that perhaps he had some knowledge instilled in him that could be of use.
That's fair.
He had
But-
the-
Above all else, I would say that among political figures and among the elites in Einem and the Empire in general, there are very few good men with good intentions. And Renfred is one of them. If there is anyone who would lead an army to save the people of Einem and not his own self, put the interests of the people before his own, it's Renfred. Many people seek the throne and would watch cities fall and crumble to attain it. He is not one of those.
Okay.
And if we do need Renfred at the center of the storm, then maybe Persephone can call her friend up on the coin again and sort of transport them in. I don't know. I don't know how any of that works. It's all
I don't think
mad,
that's how it works.
And he demanded...
diabolical madness.
Yeah, so...
In fact, I
Again,
think
I
her
don't.
friend on the coin kind of dictates what happens.
Right. I'm not totally sure. Full disclosure, I'm not totally sure that that was our only course of action. However, it was the most definitive course of action, myself included. None of us really had a clear way forward, and Persephone showed initiative, and that is why
Persephone had that happen to her, and it showed a hunter's moon. I mean, what would you have done? What would you read from that?
Again, I don't know, magic and stars and magic coins and whatever, but I saw a leader. So I followed the leader in the moment. And now we're here.
Here we
So
are.
now we've caught ourselves in some interesting situations and we've managed to survive. I think from this point we probably need to start with the escape and move back from that point rather than just flying by the seat of our pants. How do we get around the army when the armies are fighting? How do we maneuver? When do we move? Then go from there. I think that that's the play, correct? Is that we go to the castle, we don't take part in just some massive battle, and we don't stay here in the city.
Right. And I don't think getting Persephone is going to be an issue. No one knows who she is, really. Even if they know news of a person named Persephone did something, but Renfred's back. They don't.
Do they even know her name?
Probably not. Not many
Well, not many know. Well, any that know that something happened and people died to bring Renfred back might know the name Persephone. They don't know the name Hilda. They don't know the name Bangers.
do. Bangers.
Does anyone besides us know all three names?
No,
No.
Good.
not at once. I was the only one that knew Persephone for... when did you learn?
I learned it 2 days ago.
Danny,
So-
I think the same.
3 days ago.
Right.
I knew it the night before the ship.
So, that is what we're going to do, right? When the armies are on the move and they're occupied and all of the people in power are busy organizing people, we sneak out of the city, just like we snuck out of the other city.
So tomorrow morning, I mean, that's the
Actually,
time.
I have a thought. So when we left Ostwald, we left out of a hidden tunnel in the church.
Correct.
Is there a hidden tunnel in the church here that can take us out of the city and dump us into the woods, presumably far from anyone and any prying eyes?
But we can't
It
be
would
too
not-
far out of... I mean, we still have to head towards the castle. The army's coming from the castle, and we have to go towards
Agreed.
the castle.
And
So
I
we
don't know
can't
who
go...
you want to ask about that. Mother Paulina is dead.
Yeah.
We have no other connections to find that out.
Well, a tunnel out of the city is a tunnel out of the city, even if it puts us on exactly the wrong side of the city. If worst case scenario, it puts us on the wrong side of the city. How long does it take to go around? Half a day?
I mean, the city could just be decimated, everything.
Right. So we have to leave earlier.
But we can't leave any earlier than first thing in the morning, right? You still have to sleep. What time is
Right.
it right now?
I mean, you got in
question.
super early, so maybe it's 3 p.m. at this point. So we got to spend some time here.
I'm just concerned. I mean, if we can put a stop to whatever's happening at Castle Dumire, that's the end to this. But ideally, we would do it before the city of Einem is destroyed. And I worry that if we go in too circuitous of a route, too far out of the way, that we won't be able to get there in time to save this city.
That's fair. Where in the city is the church? I bet that the tunnel out is to the nearest wall out that direction, would be my guess.
If there is one.
If there is one. And also not towards the river would also be my guess. A tunnel towards the river doesn't make much sense because it would get flooded immediately. Could I make some sort of intelligence-based or something roll
Like an idea, sort of. If you were
just to
plotting
get a
tunnel,
general idea.
yeah,
If I were a
yeah.
tunnel, where
Where would I
go?
go? Yeah. So just based on the geography, I won't make you roll for it. Just based on the geography, if you weren't heading out east, which is where the river is, you'd probably head north. Yeah. Tunnel north out of the city, and then you could go north and around to Castle Dumire. That would be, if there is a tunnel, then,
If there is a tunnel, then that's where the tunnel would be.
correct.
So is the church that's in Einem of similar construction and design to the church that was in Ostwald?
They're both temples of the old emperor. So yes.
All right. I would bet my last bottom gold that is that we are going to find a tunnel in that church. And if not, then we just elsewhere.
Well, we can check the library too. There might be
Sure.
that crazy library here. They might have information about the temple or just to the old emperor
Yep.
in general.
Charlie, what do you think? You've been so quiet.
Charlie just sort of looks up, clearly sort of distracted. I can't say. It seems like somehow we need to make it to the castle, but our method of getting there is unclear. As of right now, we bear no guilt in this city. At least that we know of.
Except for the werewolves that we caused.
The hounds.
I do not think it would be necessary even to tell untruths in order to make our way out.
Well, if we're going to be making our way out with 5 of us, then we are, right?
Yes.
I suppose that's the case.
The other option is we meet up at Dewey's place in the woods and then go from there, because that's kind of on the way. And the 4 of us can just waltz there because we are squeaky. And then we hope that Persephone doesn't get murdered in the woods on the way by herself.
We get
No.
Persephone and we bring her.
Yeah, agreed. So,
It's not an option. I'm not willing to even entertain another thought.
sounds good to me.
But wait,
I
she's
think
making
that-
that circle. How long does that take?
Doesn't matter.
The circle will likely be done at least by morning, whether she gets a night's sleep or not. Some of you are, I assume, going back to the library, I guess, to do some last-minute cram session before we leave, because we have to leave in the morning. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
We need to sleep.
Hopefully regain my faculties by the morning.
Charlie,
I have
what
to
will
go
you
talk
do?
to my fiance.
Yeah, that too.
I have some research I'd like to do. Try and figure if there's any weaknesses to these things, perhaps.
Where
And
will
to do
you
to
do
protect the
that
city in your
research?
absence.
I'll join you in the library. Is where I'm assuming you're going.
I might have some business with Dr. Phineas. I'd like to talk with him about some medical.
Sure. Sounds right. So, Nick, you'll sleep here, of course, so you can be monitored and you can have what Dr. Phineas gave you. Charlie, you'll stay here for a while and then go to the library, right?
The
Right?
library's
Well,
there
I'll-
too.
Which library?
The Keep Library. So I'd like to visit Dr. Phineas's practice as well.
That's what I said. You would visit
Okay.
with Dr. Phineas and then go to the library, right?
Perhaps. I don't know that I need the library myself.
Danny, where are you going?
I'll be here. But not here. I will speak to Patrick here, and then I will go to the library that's here to do some research. And we all have rooms here still.
Mhm.
And that's where I'll sleep tonight. I'm not moving.
Polaris, you have plans as well.
I'll stay.
I would think
Oh.
that I have a couple of ideas if you are open to them. The first of which is, of course, you will need to inform whoever happens to be at MASH's establishment of the plan. You theoretically have an inn at the church if you want to go looking around for secret tunnels. And I also think that you said you had some shopping that you needed to go do. Although I don't know if this is the time or the place for that. We can theoretically have whatever we need ordered or something. I don't know how much trust we have engendered right now, but, you know, those are my thoughts of what bases we don't have covered.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Postmates app, so we can just order like whatever we need. It can just come here to the keep. Fine.
Also,
Messenger
it didn't
boy,
work out-
go and get it for you.
It did not work out great the last time we hired people, but we do have some money.
They're up.
If we,
Hiring for help, no one shows up.
we can, of course, head over to Marcus Viridian's. I'm sure that he can be persuaded to give us some of his men for enough coin to be, highwaymen, to be coachmen on the way. We might even be able to hire a coach.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the church to do some research. And while I am researching something in a book, I will also research tunnels, see what I can find, see where they lead. I think I'm the best person to do that. And when I found what I can about there, I'm going to go back to Mash's tavern. I'm going to check in on Persephone and make sure she's eaten. See if her circle's done. Check in on Mash. I will meet you in the morning.
I will add that if anyone has any books on them that need read, I won't be going anywhere. So leave them with me.
I'll make a cursory glance of, since Polaris is doing some of the hard research about the tunnels, and Charlie will be doing some as well. I'll make a very cursory inspection of the library here before I do anything, and bring you any books that look of interest, and I can go to Marcus Viridian's and see about hiring some people to accompany us to the castle.
Great.
Preferably in a
Okay.
carriage, so that we have a carriage or a whatever cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also
Alright,
maybe
so-
we can use those Zweihander carriage rules.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so what you guys are doing now, let's cut over to Persephone. Persephone, it gets later in the day. I mean, we've had a scene here, so we'll skip forward a little bit. It gets late. Mash maybe closes up a little early to get everyone out and heads downstairs with a plate of steaming hot mash. Hello!
That's for the circle. I just rolled for the circle.
Nice.
And when he comes down, he finds me on his cellar floor, chiseling a perfect circle into the stone floor. And I guess the scene that he sees when he comes down the stairs
Right,
is
right.
like, I'll like wipe my like sweat off my brow, probably leaving like stone dust, and I'll be like, Mash, it's so good to see you.
Oh, hello! Oh, nice circle you got there. Your friend told me about it. Said you might be hungry.
I'm starving. Will you eat with me?
Sure, I brought the mash.
All right, and I would just sit down and shoot the shit with Mash. Probably nothing like super important. I would tell him that if he was in danger to come get down into the circle and it would protect him. I
Sure.
would tell him that he needs to keep it secret that I'm here, and that's pretty much it. And then
Yeah,
probably
having a
just make small
conversation
talk,
with-
ask him about the bar and stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit like having a conversation with a child where you're like, "What did you do today?" and they like don't really remember.
I saw
or
a
tell
dog.
You,
Yeah.
yeah, they tell you particularly interesting details of like actually what happened.
I had green for lunch.
Exactly. So you spend a couple of hours down here with Mash. What do you do once you've eaten and drawn the circle?
It takes me a full day to draw the circle.
Oh, did you hold day? Yeah,
It's a
so you're gonna
full
be down here.
24 hours. Yep. I
Okay,
will
so you're
just
gonna be here.
plugging
until, like-
away at that until they
Sure
come
thing.
for me.
Okay.
Even.
All right, so let's go with let's go Polaris. You're headed off to the temple to do some research there. You get over to the temple, doesn't take you long, and you're let in immediately, being who you are after you flash your papers. And you're let into the halls where not too long ago, Mother Paulina, yes,
Oh my God,
definitely almost said Teresa. Yeah, Mother Paulina died a brutal death, thanks to the help of Danny. Man, if Danny had killed Mother Teresa, that would have been way cooler.
You don't know that she didn't.
The justice. Yeah, and you're let back into the vestibule halls that are very sort of reverential and quiet, quite musty, filled with old books and parchments and scrolls. No immediate secret tunnels are to be seen, but how do you go about trying to find this?
So are there archives and stuff like that in the?
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any ancient map or older maps of the city?
Sure. Yeah. Let's have a roll for this. Trying to have a look around.
Yeah, I'd love to have a roll.
Yeah, you can roll an education roll, which is
Okay.
intelligence based.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Polaris can't read a map.
Yeah, that's a bit
Neither
of a
can
yikes.
Lydia, so we share that.
Yeah, some of it's worn, torn away. You can find a lot of maps, but they're not necessarily the maps that you're looking for. Eventually, as you're down here, you see an elderly priest hobbling over. Yeah, he says, "John, can I help you at all? You look lost."
I am lost, actually, because I can't read a map. I was wondering, if there's a disaster here in the temple, what do you do? Where do you go? I've heard so much about the plague that's coming, and I'm just trying to find the fastest way out.
Well, if one had to leave the temple, then, the door's over there, my dear.
The front door.
Are you speaking of an alternate way out of the temple?
That is what I'm speaking of. If I had something special I needed to protect, or another reason that I needed to get out another way throughout the front door, where would I go?
I'm only telling you this because word around the town is that you were perhaps involved with those witch hunters, the removal of them, and after what they did to Mother Paulina. Terrific act.
That's exactly what
I understand. There are catacombs that run beneath this temple. The Emperor, in his infinite wisdom, saw to make sure that any priestess in danger might be able to escape and save their lives, while Mother Paulina faced off against her adversaries and met with them. The rest of us hid. Like the cowards we are, I'm afraid I'm nothing more than an old man. But by the Emperor's will, it protected me. There are catacombs I can show you. Come. He draws a torch from off the wall and starts leading you down a set of narrow stone stairs until you come to a stone tunnel which leads away into darkness farther than your eyes can see. Down there, it leads northwards out of the city, I think. It may lead you to another temple. I've never traversed the entire lengths. It should find you to safety should the worst come. I understand war is on our doorstep.
I know. And I'm nervous. I'm just looking for alternatives. I just don't know what to expect. I'm just trying to be prepared. I'm sure you understand.
I do. I do, and should the worst come, then the priesthood will attempt to take some women and children to safety through these tunnels, head northwards, try and find somewhere safe. You're more than welcome to join us, sister.
I can offer some types of protection. I know some things. I'm a registered mage. I spoke with Mother Paulina about that. I have some talents, and I think I could be suited to protecting those women and children. So when the time comes, I can help.
Well, I appreciate that and everything that you've done for us.
I haven't done much, but
Sometimes what we do may not feel like much, but it affects others greatly. I'll leave you here in case you wish to explore for a while. Take the torch.
what was your name?
Father Duncus, they call me.
Father Duncus. I feel like I've heard of you before.
Perhaps. Perhaps Mother Paulina spoke my name once.
Maybe.
Either way, I'm the person left in charge of this place now, I suppose.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. He starts to shuffle upstairs.
I will spend a few minutes looking around the catacombs, I guess.
Okay, yeah. You have an explorer, and it is very similar to the tunnel that you took from Ostwald south and out of the city. This one seems to be of the same. It goes north, yeah. So feasibly, if it goes some way north, you could use it to get out of the city quickly and get round to Castle Dumar.
Oh, how convenient.
Yep, the geography works out well enough. Yep. So let's cut with Polaris. She's having explored down there. Danny, you've headed off, I think, to Marcus Viridian's place.
Well, before I did that, I was going to quickly check the library for anything regarding the shattering, like probably the same books we found before, but I had trouble reading. The shattering, Adarian. We know that guy's name now. It starts with a G. I have it.
Garrow.
Yeah.
Garrow.
You can roll a quick education check, yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, I just had a dope idea for how to sneak Persephone out of the city if we really needed to, but I don't think we need it.
Yeah, that'll
Keep it up in the Mind Palace, though.
I got it here.
all up in the Mind Palace. That's where it counts. All right, so Danny, you take a look back over the stuff about the shattering Garrow. And what little is really left. Every time you've looked, you've managed to find not much, and even when you did find something, there wasn't a ton of information out there. But you do run into the term when you're looking up in the book of Shattering, the term tether, Tether, as in to tether something down, which speaks to that magical creatures, and it speaks broadly, but you could apply this to play counts, require a place with which they are tethered. Something which sort of like holds them down, an anchor for lack of a better term. And that would always be in a location. Reading into this, a really good education roll. If Castle Dumar is the tether for the plague hounds that are coming towards you, then that would confirm Nick's theory that disrupting it somehow could help.
Okay. If there's anything else that I catch at a glimpse on how to defeat a Darien, or just any information about a Darien, any information about Garrow, I'm looking for their names, and I'm not going to even read any more than that. If I see their name, I'm just going to take the book because I want to take it back to Nick.
Okay. So there's nothing else that mentions their names. There isn't a whole lot actually written about them. But you will read just a little bit more on the tether stuff. That damaging the tether would damage both the tethered creatures and the person that's trying to bind to them. I.e., break whatever the tether is, and you hurt not only the plague hounds, but also a Darien and or Garrow, whichever one of them is there. Scoop up the book, pop it in a bag, and head over to Verilian's place.
Still no.
Still no. Sorry. For some reason I've got it fixated that you're headed there.
I am eventually.
Okay.
I'm going to go speak with Patrick, but first I wanted to say I'm very glad you spelled tether the first time, because with your adorable little accent, it sounded like tether, and I was thinking, what's a tether?
Tether.
A tether.
But then now I realize I should say.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I will grab whatever servant or whoever's around and ask them where Patrick's quarters are, because I want to go speak.
Okay. Absolutely, yeah. Back at the Chatbire Manor, you're told that Sir Patrick is in his room right now, so you can get all the way up to the room and knock on the door, I guess. I'm not to be disturbed. I thought I told you that.
Let me in, Patrick.
Ugh. You! He flings open
Yes.
the door in a rage.
Hello, my love.
You drugged me with something. Cast
I
a
didn't
spell
drug
on
you.
me, maybe some magic.
I didn't cast anything on you. You were drunk, but you proposed to me of your own volition. Let's make that very clear. And you know it. You wanted to run up Renfred.
Be that as it may. Even if that were the case, I shall not go through with marrying you.
Fine.
Is that all?
No, shut up. You're an idiot. I don't know that anyone's ever thought to tell you that before.
Excuse me.
Patrick, just listen to me. You're probably not a bad man, but you're an idiot. You let me trick you. Maybe you're not an idiot, but you are naive when it comes to certain things. You can accept that. Think about it, and you can do nothing but agree with me.
Perhaps there are some things that I've yet to learn, but that's the same for all of us.
I agree. Renfred is a good man. He's wise. He has military prowess that, as far as I can see, is unparalleled. There's been nothing to lead me to believe anything aside from that. You have wealth, you have station, you have everything going for you. I have a letter of intent from you, signed by you, saying that you agree to marry me. Fight it all you want. I can make it look ugly for you. I don't want to do that. I want to make that very clear. If
That piece of paper won't stand up in a court of law.
No, it won't, but it will make you look a fool to a great extent.
Apparently, I already am a fool, according to you.
Well, my eyes aren't everyone else's eyes. You're not a bad man, Patrick. But what I'm getting at is, if you survive this, and if Renfred survives this, I want your word that you will never again entertain the possibility of opposing him. You will recognize his rule.
Why would I make you this promise?
Because I will agree to tear up that piece of paper and not embarrass you any further. And I will go away very quietly. And
Really?
I will tell people that I drugged you if that's what you want. I am no longer entertaining the possibility of marriage.
How do I know you're not trying to trick me now?
I don't know that you do. If there's something that you can think of that I can do to prove it, I will, gladly.
Seems like there's nothing you will do to prove your lies. I tell you what, if you tear up that piece of paper, then I'll agree.
What assurance do I have of your intentions?
I suppose you don't have any, but I'm not the one that's already double-crossed you.
I will reach into my bodice, pull out the letter of intent, open it up for him to see. Do you verify that this is what I say it is?
He takes a look at it. Yeah. All right.
I presume that he has a fireplace in this room.
Yeah.
Fire going.
Fire's going, yeah.
I will go to the fireplace and fling it into the fire.
He smiles. All right, fine. I promise not to challenge Renfred's rule. Barely want the thing anyway.
I know. I'm going to approach him. And if he'll let me, I will hold his face in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, you could be a great man. Listen to your father. He is wise beyond your understanding. Stop trying to impress people. You're already the best of the best. Just allow your actions to speak. Don't concern yourself with getting recognition. You will be recognized if you do good deeds.
Well, Father wants me to lead the cavalry, so I suppose there will be glory there.
There will be. And you are strong. And you are brave. I have seen great things in you. I've seen your worser intentions come to the surface. And Patrick, I'm sorry. I did take advantage of you. I didn't drug you to get you to propose to me. I did drug you after you proposed to me, but I apologize for that. In my defense, Castle Dumire may have a lot to do behind this plague, and I was trying to get to Castle Dumire. I wasn't just trying to hurt you for no reason. all of this was leading to that.
No fan of deception, but for what it's worth, you and I, we're square.
I appreciate that. Like I said, you have the potential to be a very good and strong and powerful man. More so than you are now. Not to say that you weren't those things already. And I would hate to have you on a list of enemies. So thank you. And that's all I wanted to say.
After the war, what do you plan to do?
I don't know. I don't.
Well, I'm going to need good people around me if I'm to lead this city one day. Or at least be the Lord, once my father passes. Perhaps you would consider counseling me.
If I'm able to gain your trust, I would welcome that.
All right. Well, if either of us survive this thing, then we'll talk again.
Good evening, Sir Patrick.
Good evening, Lady Danielle. Okay. I want to cut over at this point to Charlie. Charlie, what are you doing?
Charlie has gone to Dr. Phineas's practice to find him, and
yeah, he's finished with Renford and just sort of cleaning his hands. Ah, good to see you, lad.
Phineas, I had a question. I was wondering if there's a morgue around.
There is. What might you be needing with a morgue, young Charlie, dare I ask?
Well, with word of these beasts quick approaching, I'm worried of the approach of the plague with them. I thought perhaps it might be good to examine some of the bodies, make sure that the plague has not already found its way.
He looks at you. Are you telling him the truth?
Ooh, Charlie's lying.
You wouldn't even lie for us.
Lying Liarton!
You can roll me a guile check. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Well, fair enough. Sometimes doctor's art is to take a look at the dead, see what we can do for the living, and I'll show you down there. Come along. And he gets out a big set of chain of keys and starts fumbling through to find the right one. Finds it, leads you downstairs to the morgue down here. And this is where we put some of the bodies. Opens it up, shows you around. There aren't many, there are a couple of cold actual cadavers here that are still lying around. That Phineas wasn't able to save and has been sort of working on a little bit. Yes, these two got into a fight with one another and ended up murdering one another. Brought them down here in case there was something useful, but I'm afraid not. Just two drunken idiots.
Well, I'll have a look anyways, if that's all right.
Of course. I suppose I'll leave you to it. If I can help, then I have some time.
I'll let you know. Might be a few
That
hours,
won't be
but
far. Good luck.
thank you.
He leaves you alone.
Bye. After he leaves, I'm going to check if I can just lock the door behind me, just in case.
Sure.
Um,
The door locks.
I'm going to quickly, before doing anything else, I am going to have a look at these bodies and see if they do have any signs of the plague on them.
They don't. With a quick,
Okay.
quick glance.
Yeah. I uncover the bodies and just sort of look them over, look them in the face and say, sorry that come to you. And then I pull out my instruments and I am going to start to cut him apart. Starting at first with the stomach, I'm going to cut him open and I'm going to remove his intestines. I'm going to stretch them out thin as I can, and I'm going to set aside a pot of water, and I'm going to start to boil these intestines and treat them with lye. As they're soaking in this container, I go back to the body, hands still sort of thick with blood, or at least up to my wrists, what hasn't washed off in the pail. I start to take out my bone saw, and I begin to sort of cut across the body, sawing slowly with the uncomfortable sound of carving metal against bone as they begin to crack underneath. He takes a collection of different bones, the femur first, taking long strokes along it, carefully marking first with ink where he knows he needs to cut next. He consults a notebook next to him where there are crude drawings and sketches, and he takes some of the femurs as well, carves two of them to a point. He removes the skull of this person, stripping their flesh, their hair off of it, mangling their brain with a needle through the nose so it can be drained out of it, and then slowly again carving the skull so it just vertically from the top. Takes his amalgamation of chunks of bone and begins to lay out each of the pieces side by side, and you start to see a form of a mask. Pointed femurs at the front going into a long beak-like shape. He takes some other bone and begins to grind it up. He with mortar and pestle firmly grinds it, and again takes it, boils it, brings it down to a congealed substance along with some fats so they can stick. He assembles these bones together into a mask, into the shape of a crow's mask, not unlike the one that the Princess of Red Carnage wore. Pallid white, held together with the sinews and bones of others. He very, very carefully carves in the eye holes of the skull slight crease on the inside. And then he goes back to those intestines. He stretches them. He pulls them into a tight string, and he takes the edges of the skull. He takes a drill and begins to slowly just crank and grind holes all along the edges of the skull. He hesitates for a moment. He has a needle out and has threaded this bit of gut through it, and he looks at the mask before him and is struck with uncertainty. Pulls his glasses off and he wipes his hands on his face, realizes they're covered in blood, dips them in lye and washes them and washes his face off again. And as his glasses are off, he pops out each of the lenses and slowly just wedges them into the eye holes of this mask. And then looks at it once again, needle in hand. Down. He walks up the stairs, unlocks the door, walks out and calls. Dr. Phineas?
Phineas comes. He steps where he can see you. Yes, I'm just on my... Johnny?
I'm sorry, I have a favor to ask of you.
What is it?
You've read of the books of the Rose of Auchenberry.
Yes.
One of them, the Princess of Red Carnage, he helped us in the woods. She saved us from the plague. She has had power to stave off this illness. I can't work as I have so far. I can't
What are you saying?
bring death. I need to save people.
Yes. Or what are you trying to say?
I wish to become a crow.
He looks about himself nervously. My boy, that's not a path for a boy like you. It's not a path.
Find very
path for
few
many.
paths remaining before me.
You're asking for my help.
Yes.
Well, then it is said if one is to become a crow, then one must convene with their council at Arkenbury. Though I would not wish it upon you, if you choose this path, that is where you must go. Though I fear for your friends, if you leave them behind.
I fear for them too. But I fear for this entire city if I don't bring some sort of protection from the plague. They're strong. I honestly hardly hold up in a fight. Can heal, but, well...
You made it this far.
I have, but not without a cost. That is not a cost that I can bear any longer.
Well, I can get you out of the city. I don't think the others will understand.
I don't expect them to fully, but I don't have a choice. This is my only path forward.
Very well. Then, I suppose you ought to come with me.
Yes. Charlie will return to his grim work and take the mask that he's constructed, shove it away in his bag, and follow Dr. Phineas. Here, take this as well. And he hands him a note. Give this to the others.
I will. I swear it.
Thank you.
Go on, it's not far. He leads you through the same path with which he escaped from the city only days before, and gets you to basically a sewer entrance, which should take you out of the city. Just keep heading west, and you'll find yourself to Arkenbury. The path is long and dangerous, but I believe you'll make it. I don't know what happens then.
There's only one way for me to find out.
Good luck to you.
Thank you for everything.
And you. He stays waiting while you head inside, I suppose. Once out of the city, what does Charlie do?
As he reaches the edge of the city, and finds himself in a place of relative calm, in pallid moonlight at nearly dawn in dim twilight, centers himself, sitting down on the ground, pulls out his bag and takes the mask and slowly, painfully, tediously begins to sew it to his face, the way that he saw the masks attached to those creatures of sinew and strife before. He knows that it's not a mask that can be easily removed. It is something that is a part of you. And if he wants to become one of these, then he has to take it on fully.
The process is painstaking, incredibly painful.
And as he recovers from his work, barely able to stand from the pain and the blood dripping from each of the seams along his face, he again steels himself and walks onward towards Arkenberry, towards maybe a cure.
As you walk and don the mask, you hear a voice. Charlie! 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 It's your father's voice. Charlie! Charlie! I knew you'd make it. You'd make it. You'd make it. You'd make it. I knew you'd walk the path to. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session of Zweihander Blackhearts. Oh,
brother.
boy. Oh, brother, where art thou? That was intense. That was
Jeepers.
intense. Toward the end there, yes. And oh boy, I didn't even realize that we're going over time there. Sorry, folks. That was a lot. That was our penultimate episode of Zweihander Blackhearts. We're going to be back next week for the finale, and oh boy, am I fucking nervous and excited and scared actually to see what happens next week. Yeah. Like, oh boy, if you haven't checked out Zweihander yet, definitely check it out on grimandperilous.com for scenes such as these. But I do know that Speedy can't make our finale, and so we sort of had to end Charlie's storyline, which is why we did that scene today.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Charlie is
Bad Speedy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I do want to go around to cast and crew. Big hand to the cast. Did you enjoy yourself tonight? Where can we find you online? To start in reverse order. Let's start with Speedy tonight. Great scene tonight. How was that for you?
Oh God! Why did you give me a cliffhanger when I'm leaving?
Because I'm absolutely.
God. Yeah, no, tonight was awesome. I I know even though I can't make it to the finale, I'm definitely going to be watching, at least afterwards. I can't wait to see what it is that you guys end up doing. I loved every bit of this game, and I loved every bit of playing with all of you. And so, I'm incredibly grateful to have been a part of this and to have had all of you, playing with me and interacting with Charlie and, having mixed feelings about how truthful he was all the time until the time that he wasn't.
You jerk.
I do also have the letter that Charlie wrote to all of you, which I can send to you and you can read off at the start of next episode.
Awesome.
So,
I'm pretty sad about it.
Oh, we're gonna cry at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, I know. Hell yeah, that's my thing. That's what I'm here for, make everyone cry, even when I'm not here. But yeah, thank you all so much for playing, and I love all of you. I'm happy to have been a part of this campaign. As for me, I am Speedy. You can find me everywhere as Not So Speedruns, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. I just finished up my campaign for St. Jude Play Live. We raised exactly $2,000.69. Nice.
Wow.
Which is
Nice.
pretty wild. So I'm incredibly grateful if anyone who is there, who came out, watched, donated, supported in whatever way you did. I am now going to have to get my hair dyed whatever color a top donor wanted, and also going to have to get a tattoo, which is going to be pretty cool. So you have that to look forward to. If you're interested in donating to the campaign, it is still open. You can check my Twitter for that stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna go be a camp counselor now, or in a few weeks, I guess.
Nice.
So believe it or not, even after role playing like this, they allow me around children.
I'm going to snap off a man's face just in preparation to get off the camp.
I had to get it all out of my system with this game first.
We're going to send it to the camp. You're not going to be allowed back there. I don't know about that. Tell them that I shouldn't be allowed around children so that we can have a season 2.
That's the real movie. Oh boy, it's not going to be the same about Johnny Ram. We're going to miss you, Speedy, and we're definitely going to miss all the morally complex greatness coming out from Charlie's end. I feel like Charlie was the glue that kept this group together, and we're gonna see what happens.
The sticky, just faintly sensitive iron glue that is keeping us all together, or the slimy leech-like glue that is keeping all of us together.
The leech juice
sucking onto all of us.
Oh man, certainly a moral compass of the group. But oh boy, Lydia, how was that tonight for you in Polaris?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to write a report on this. It was really great. It was really great. Well, thanks for asking. I enjoyed getting to spend some time with Danny. I'm really sad about Charlie. I'm not good with words, especially at the end of something like this. So ask me next week.
Sure thing. Let's get
Happy
in the week.
birthday, Will.
After the finale, I'm sure it's going to be way better.
Way better after the finale. Yeah.
We're all dead at the finale.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to write a speech for next week so I can get through the outro. Anywho, I have no thoughts to express to you right now because I'm still processing them. I am Lydia. You can find me on Twitter at CastleMacLydia. You can find me here on Twitch, on my family's Twitch channel, which is just twitch.tv/CastleMac. I play RPGs around a table in my basement with my friends and my family.
Fantastic.
That covers it. Thanks for all of the pain, Will. Happy birthday to you. Speedy, I'm really going to miss you. I hope that the wedding you're going to is worth it.
Wow.
Harsh, but fair.
Shit, winning. I wish I was playing Zweihander.
You know what? I was gonna make a road trip up north, and I was gonna stop at your place. I'm not anymore.
Wow. Wow.
How many more snaps of my dog do you need, Speedy?
Okay, you're right. You know what? I take it back. That makes it even. I'm visiting you, but only to see your dog. Your big,
I will send you
floofy
30 more in
dog.
a day.
Oh dear, oh dear. Fantastic stuff. Ruben, how was that tonight for you and Nick?
I think that was a good episode for Nick. I feel like, well, Nick can like move and walk again. Nick has purpose and direction, and is showcasing the ability to string thoughts together and coordinate, and now is coming back into the zone of where he functions as a sellsword, as a hedge knight. So silver linings, I guess. I think Nick's in a good place now, mentally. All things considered. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I had a great time. Thank you so much, Will. Happy birthday. Charlie, Barber, Speedy, it was a pleasure playing with you. That was a hell of a thing at the end there. I'm really happy that we got to have some scenes before you left, because I didn't know you were leaving. I must have just missed that news. And I'm really excited to read this note next week, because as Nick has said many times to Charlie over these episodes, we all wear masks. So
Don't spoil the letter.
No.
I had to say it. I had to say it this week. Yeah. Are we doing credits now too? Like where?
Yeah, absolutely. You said.
Cool.
Plug yourself.
I'm Mox Ruby, MoxReuby, on all of the social media platforms. You can see me on the Magic Mike's podcast on Wednesday nights, MAGICMICS. And be on the lookout for news related to the Broken Pact on the D&D Twitch channel very soon.
Fantastic. Awesome stuff. Doxy, how was that tonight for you and Persephone?
Interesting. It was interesting. Really quick, happy birthday, Will and Speedy. It was a privilege to play with you. I'm really happy that I met you. This whole campaign is just great, and I look forward to it every week. And as much as I'm going to look forward to it next week, I'm going to look forward to it a little bit less because I know you won't be there. But yeah, it was good. It was a good episode. I'm Zero Doxy. You can find me at twitch.tv/ZER0DOXY. We'll probably be doing a couch stream tonight where you can look at me lay on my couch and I talk about things.
Can I come?
I'm disgusting.
Can I come?
Of course you can.
Fantastic. Awesome. Quieter episode for Persephone tonight, but she's been getting in the action the past couple of weeks, so she needed a break with a chill out on the floor.
Yeah.
A chill out on the floor with Mash. I think it was much needed tonight. So.
Oh my god! Wait, getting to talk to Nash was my favorite part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He's my favorite too. He's my special little
I
boy.
love MASH.
Oh boy. Kirby, how was that tonight for you and Danny?
That was so good. I'm a couple 4 limericks in tonight. This is, I think, the highest number of limericks written in one night. I think all 4 of them, or at least 3 of them, will have to debut next week. That was crazy. And I actually kind of have a love of writing limericks, I've discovered. So I think that's going to start being a thing in any RPG I play.
Nice.
I loved the dilemma that Danny was faced with, really realizing that this whole marriage thing was like just not going to pan out. And then her very quickly having to come to terms with the fact that she killed a woman to further this future that is no longer a possibility, and then consider what she could do to try and at least make some good come of it. And I think that that's where her conversation with Patrick came from. She was really just trying, she knew that she had a captive audience in him and was just trying to make good of it. And so that was really, really enjoyable. And yeah, I can't wait for next week when we all die, because holy God. So yeah, Speedy, we're gonna miss you so much. But in the meantime, I am Miss Kimmy D 85 on Twitter. I am trying to be more active on Twitter, so I'm not just going to pimp out my fiance this time. I'm going to say follow me on Twitter, and I actually might start streaming again myself at some point very soon. So you can follow me on Twitch at Miss Kimmy D. So there you go.
Dope. Awesome. Well, we're running a little later than usual tonight, so I'll keep it short and sweet. If you want to follow me, you've already found me. Congratulations. You can go follow me elsewhere. I'm going to head off. It's about to be my birthday, so I'm going to fuck out of here. And I don't know, pretty much see you. All right, guys. Lots of love. Oh, I can't wait for next week, but I'm so stressed. I'm going to get pretty drunk. All right, guys. Lots of love. Bye.
My birthday. Bye.
Bye.